19-year-old high school student Stephanie Morrow is suing her sister, hairstylist Wendy Morrow, for the return of child support received on her behalf. Stephanie claims Wendy continued to receive money after she had moved from her home.
Ms. Morrow, the defendant is your sister.
Correct.
And it is your claim that for a period of time, recently, when you were still under 18, you lived with her. You had some trouble at home. You moved in with your sister.
Yes.
And she was collecting child support for you from both your mother and your father.
Correct.
And then you had a disagreement with your sister. You left, and it is your claim that she collected child support even during the time that she was not taking care of you. You want that money back.
Correct.
Your sister says that that is not true, that she collected only 2 checks when you weren't there, and those checks were retroactive checks for money that had been owed to her for the time that you were, in fact, living there.
Yes, ma'am.
During what period of time did you live with your sister?
I lived with my sister from August of 2000 until July 14th of 2002.
Is that right?
No.
When did she live with you?
August 99
8/99
until September 1st, or that what's that weekend?
Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, the Labor Day weekend. That weekend.
Your Honor, I have here the initial shelter order from when I was placed in the care of my sister, and it states here that the initial shelter order was placed on August 31st of 2000.
Had you lived there before?
No.
I might be wrong.
There you go. Okay. What about through Labor Day weekend?
Your Honor, on July 14th, 2002, my sister assaulted me in a car, and she left me in the streets of Staten, Oregon, to defend for myself. And from July until the end of August, I lived on the streets on my own.
August of 2000 to July of 2002. And what were the support arrangements, Ms. Morrow?
Well, my dad is to pay her mother's to pay $200 a month. That was between her mother and I. And our dad was to pay $335 a month, and that was through the state, Oregon State.
Okay. The support money that you were receiving from her mother, I assume, was terminated, stopped coming.
I didn't receive a check the month that she was not with me, no.
Fine. That's not what you're talking about. You're talking about the check from your father?
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the check from my father.
Okay. How many months do you allege your father sent checks to your sister when you weren't there?
9 months, Your Honor.
Which 9 months?
July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2002, January, February, March until March of 2003.
Okay. I'll hear you.
Okay. I have paperwork here stating how many checks that I've received since I've had my sister. And I have a total of 13 checks, I believe. Make that 15 checks that have been received in the total amount of time that I have had my sister.
Let me see the paperwork that you have. Let's see if I can deal with this relatively quickly, because I think I know what happened. She was supposed to have received $6,700.
Yes.
She received less than that.
Yes.
$3,787. Right?
Correct.
So there's $3,000 that she did not receive.
No, the child support that I'm suing her for is the child support she received for the time that I was there on August 31st of 2002. There was a telephonic hearing with my father through the child support district.
Yes.
Where I was not with Wendy, and she claimed that I was, and if she would have told them that I was not with her at that time, they would have stopped sending her child support, but she did not. She acted as though I was with her, and so the child support continued.
You have a court order that says that? Can I see a court order? Because other than that, that's merely hearsay. Who is this person?
This is my guardian, Terry Jurek.
Right here.
I don't know.
It's near the top of the page.
So what happened, your father was giving you money directly, is what he said, not her. Your father's position was that he didn't owe the kind of money that child support said he did,
Yes.
because during the time prior to when a support order was actually entered, he was giving you money directly by check.
Yes.
Your father's position with child support enforcement was that he should be given credit for that money. And child support enforcement, which already conducted a hearing on that, said no. He can listen to me. Sit down. I didn't ask you to stand up. So I want to know, Miss Morrow, now that I've taken care of that, you went to live with your sister. You lived with your sister for 2 years. You lived with your sister because your mother threw you out. That was the reason. Clear. You're not living with your mother now. You're not living with your father now. Now you're living with somebody else who says that they're your guardian.
They are my.
I don't know how she's related to you. How is she related to you?
She is not related to me.
Fine. So now you're living with a biological stranger who's your guardian, who you want to get your money from now on until you're 21 years old. But why are you wreaking havoc with your family?
Because, Your Honor, this isn't the first time that my sister has fraudulently taken people's money.
What are you, a monitor? Are you a monitor?
No.
You went to live with her. You lived with her for 2 years at a time when you were in trouble. Why is it that you are creating such a difficult situation for your whole family?
I'm not creating a difficult situation for my whole family.
Oh, you are. You are. You're bringing in your mother, you're bringing in your father, you're bringing in her father, you're bringing in the courts. Eventually, she's going to get money for taking care of you. You're a big girl. You should have a job and take care of yourself. But why are you involving after people did nothing but be nice to you? Especially her. She took you in. She had no obligation to take you in. And I guarantee you, at the moment that she took you in, for the first week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, she wasn't getting any money. Because it takes time for the courts to get together and to get money. So I would suggest, madam, that you rethink, because you're not a baby anymore. She took care of you without compensation for a long time. She doesn't look like she's rolling in dough. Sounds to me, madam, in your 18 years, you've created enough trouble. Grow up. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's ruined so many people's lives in our family, and none of them would take her.
Well, considering the trouble that she's caused many people and the amount of money that she's taken from people, it wasn't very difficult, because sometime or another somebody has to pay for what they've done.
Thanks to God, I still love her very much, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't be able to look at her, honestly, because I've given and given, and she just took.
A liar's a liar, and God knows the truth.
19-year-old student Tressa Ani and her boyfriend, 21-year-old mechanic Devin Whiteman, are suing Tressa's sister, 20-year-old Teresa Ani, for vandalizing Devin's car.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 213 on the calendar in the matter of Ani versus Whiteman Ani. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Have seats, folks.
What is your first name?
Tressa Ani.
Tressa? Mm-hmm. Tressa, this is your sister.
Yes, it is.
What's your first name?
Teresa.
Teresa. Tressa and Teresa. I thought I would make this simple. It's not. That didn't make it any simpler for me. You're the boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
And you're here because this was your car.
Yes.
Was the car in both your names or in just your name?
Just mine.
It is your claim that your sister vandalized your car.
Yes, sir.
Sister said she didn't do it. You didn't see her vandalize your car.
No, I did not.
When was your car vandalized and how?
On July 10th in the morning, I received a call from the Hennepin County Sheriff's letting me know she was being released from jail for something.
No. What I asked you was, when was your car vandalized?
July 10th, 2002.
Okay. When did you last see it when it was in good condition?
The night before, when we drove home and parked it in our parking lot.
And when you went to get it on July 10th, you found it damaged?
Yes.
What time did you find it damaged?
About 8 o'clock in the morning.
And what time had you parked it the evening before?
Around 10.
Now, what makes you think that your sister did that to your car?
For starters,
By the way, it was keyed, according to your complaint.
It was something. Rocks, keys. We had estimates, so the guy who did the estimate.
Pictures of it?
Yes, I do.
Let me take a look.
The man who did the estimate for us told us it could have been a number of
Can't tell me what he told you. I'll take a look at it. What was cracked off?
Part of the rim. It was struck by a blunt object, probably a hammer.
This is sort of unusual keying.
There's chunks missing out of the side of the door.
Okay. I've seen your photographs. Now tell me what makes you think that your sister did any of this damage.
I can't really go into it too far, but she had been arrested for assaulting me on July 5th. She was arrested and spent 5 days in jail. And when she was arrested, she was threatening. She was throwing rocks at us at that time.
Where was she arrested?
At my mother's house. I had taken my little sister on the 4th of July to Valley Fair, and I was returning her on the day after. And this is when all this occurred. She threatened myself. She threatened my 18-month-old daughter. She said she was going to drown my child in my mom's pool, to take my little white rat-faced child the hell out of there.
Okay. But then she assaulted you.
Yeah, she grabbed a knife, said she was going to gut me like a fish because I'm pregnant.
Did she in fact cut you?
No, she did not.
But she threatened to
Yes.
cut you. She spent 5 days in jail?
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Are those charges still pending?
Yes, they are.
So I'm not going to go into that at all. Were you subsequently released on bail?
No, I was released on, there's like a temporary release or whatever. I'm on probation.
Okay.
Just until we go to trial.
Go ahead.
I had also previously spoken to Child Protection, which she found out about because of the way she treats her 2-year-old daughter, that she probably wanted to retaliate.
So what you're telling me is she had a motive
Yes.
for damaging your car.
She also threatened to, and so did my mother.
Your mother too.
Yes, we had our phone disconnected and our number changed.
So not only did your sister threaten to damage your car according to you, but your mother threatened to damage your car.
Yes.
So 2 people threatened to damage your car.
Yes. My mom, her exact words were, "Something's going to happen. I disown you, you little, don't come back here."
Okay. What evidence do you have?
She has admitted it
To whom?
to in courtroom, which I cannot get the transcripts till her criminal stuff is done. Right outside the courtroom, I was standing there with the district attorney and some other people that were standing
Did you
there.
hear her admit it?
Yes.
Did you personally?
Yes, I did.
Well, tell me when that was and what you heard.
We had gone, because I had originally filed a restraining order, and they were trying to fight it, and I had brought with me the estimates of the car, and I was talking to the prosecutor, and before we went up to the judge, she was like, "So what if I damaged her effing car?" She made me spend 5 days in jail, and I didn't hear what she said after that.
Okay. Any other evidence that she damaged?
She's
your car?
admitted it to our witness, Johnny Gurley. That's Stevin's brother-in-law.
Tell me your name, sir.
My name is Johnny Leroy Gurley.
How do you know these parties?
Well, actually, this is my stepbrother here, and that's his girlfriend, Tressa.
Tressa says that you overheard the defendant acknowledge that she vandalized the plaintiff's car.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
When and where?
This was September 6th out in Mound, because I work at the Mound post office. I was happening to take out the trash, and I seen her, and I asked her if I could ask her a question. She said, yeah, so I asked her the question to where I heard...
What question did you ask her?
The question was, I heard that you had tore up Devin and Tressa's car. And her response was, yeah, I tore it up, and if I see it again, I'll tear it up again. And if I see the truck, I'll tear the truck up too.
Had you known her previously, the defendant?
Yeah.
Had you ever had any difficulty with her?
Nope.
After she answered you in that fashion, did you say anything else to her?
No, the only thing I said to her was that you need to stop all that violence.
And what did she say?
I couldn't really hear what she was saying because she was running off to catch the bus. Because she was waiting at the bus stop to go to work.
Okay. Thank you. I will start out by, for the purposes of this hearing, assuming that you're going to tell me you did not do any damage to the car, right?
Right.
What time were you released from jail on either the 9th or the 10th of July?
On the 9th of July, I was released at 8 o'clock at night.
Had you seen a judge that day?
Yeah, I seen it. I had a court to be released at 1:30 in the afternoon, and I was in a holding cell to be released until 8.
Do you know why you were being held from 1:30 to 8 p.m.?
Just to be released. They said it took that long for the release papers to come through.
Had you ever been incarcerated before?
Yes.
Immediately prior to this time, yes, listen, you didn't listen to my question, so you don't know what the question is. Immediately before this arrest, when was the last time you were arrested?
Last year.
For what?
I was accused of threatening my brother.
Your brother?
Well, my mom and I had a domestic over my boyfriend, the guy I was dating, and I had his 12-year-old daughter staying in the house, also along with my 2-year-old daughter, and we got domestic over him. She didn't want me to see him and this and that, and so I told her I was going to leave. She said, well, you ain't leaving with the 2 kids. I was like, well, call the police then, and I guess she made up a lie or whatever, or said I had threatened my brother, so I just got my kids and left, the 12-year-old and my 2-year-old.
So you were arrested for an attempted assault?
Right, which they dismissed the case because it wasn't true.
She threatened him with a butcher knife.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I love my family dearly, but I cannot be arrested for things I did not do. This whole thing has just been ridiculous.
Well, something is definitely out of whack in this family, and I'm not a therapist. I'm just a little old judge, just trying to find the truth.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 19-year-old Tressa Ani says her sister, 20-year-old Teresa Ani, vandalized her boyfriend's car. Tressa says it was retaliation for throwing her in jail.
Was that case resolved with the issuance of a protective order of protection?
No.
Or a restraining order, a stay-away order with regard to your brother?
Nope.
It was just dismissed?
Right.
When was the time that you were arrested immediately prior to that arrest?
I've never been arrested before that.
So you were released from jail at 8 o'clock in the evening. Was somebody waiting for you?
No, I went to the HCMC, which is the hospital downtown Minneapolis, to use the phone.
Yes.
Okay, and I waited there with one of the guys I was released with for about an hour and a half before my stepdad could come get me because I had to get a hold of somebody in town because we didn't have a phone. So he came and got me. It must have been around maybe 9:45. I got home an hour and a half later because we stopped and got gas and ate and stuff, and then we went to the house, which we live a mound from Minneapolis, it's west. And when I got home, I just stayed home. I didn't go nowhere. You know, I visited, well, my sister's 3 kids was there, and I just visited them and then went to bed.
So your stepfather came to pick you up. You went out for a bite to eat with him, and then you went home. Does your stepfather live with your mother?
Yes.
So from the time you were released from jail until the next day, I assume, you were in the company of your stepfather.
Right.
Where is he today?
He's at work.
Well, what'd you bring this is your mother?
Because my mother, they was downtown since I went to court. They were waiting for me to be released. They waited for 4 hours for me to be released because they said I'd be released.
No, your mother wasn't with you from the time you were released.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that when I got home, my mom was there waiting for me.
But your mother wasn't there
Right.
to pick you up, take you home. So if you had to bring a witness, why wouldn't you bring the witness who was with you from the time that you were actually at the area where you were released until the next morning?
Because Shakopee, where she lives at, is nowhere near Minneapolis, neither is Mound. So how am I supposed to get from Minneapolis to Shakopee with no money, without being able to take
Maybe your
money for the bus?
stepfather drove you there.
Why would my father do that? So I can go back to jail?
Maybe he was angry.
He ain't
What
angry.
do I know? He's not here. How would I know? I mean, it just seems sort of foolish. I'm just telling you for the future. If you have a witness who can solidify a defense, and you choose to bring another witness to court who can't, that looks stupid. Do you understand?
Yep.
I mean, you have a stepfather and you have a mother. One can say, she was with me all the time, we didn't go near their house. That person you leave home. The person who says, well, she did come home that night at some point, but I wasn't with her all the time, that person you bring to court. It doesn't sound smart, right? All right. Anything else you want to tell me?
Yes, since this has all happened, I have basically had my life turned upside down. I have been arrested for her warrant. She used my name. It says I'm blonde, I weigh 135 pounds, and I'm 5'6", and I had light.
I don't know what you're talking about.
About a month after this happened, I was arrested for I live in Scott County, for a warrant in Hennepin County, when I've never lived in Hennepin County in my whole life. She does, and the address on the warrant was my mother's. It was her social security number, but my name.
What were you arrested for?
Supposedly a disorderly conduct. 2 weeks after that, I got a notice from the Minnesota Department of Transportation saying my driving privileges are being suspended. I got pulled over in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. That's where her boyfriend lives. I was driving a car with no insurance. Both of our cars are fully insured. And I ran a stop sign or something telling me I had a $150 fine or something, and if I didn't pay it, my driving privileges would be suspended. So the district attorney's looking into it, talking to the Brooklyn Park Police to see if he could identify who was actually pulled over. I mean, I love my family dearly, but I cannot have things damaged. I cannot be arrested for things I did not do. I cannot have my driving privileges suspended. This is just ridiculous. This whole thing has just been ridiculous.
Well, something is definitely out of whack in this family, and I'm not a therapist. I'm just a little old judge who's trying to find the truth. So let me see your estimates. And let's talk about truth with regard to these estimates. How old is this car?
It's a 2001 Pontiac Trans Am.
Your Honor, may I speak for a minute? I do not have any warrants against me.
No,
Use
she
my
says,
name.
what she says
Where's the
is,
paper?
I'm speaking. What she says is that you don't have any warrants against you, that somehow she had the warrants against her, but the description of the person on the warrant was you, or somebody who looked like you, only using her name and social security number. Doesn't your car have any sort of insurance?
It's a $500 deductible.
So really what your out-of-pocket is going to be when you have it fixed is $500.
Yes.
I find that based upon his testimony, the fact that the defendant had certainly a motive to cause some damage to your car, that she had an opportunity to do it, that she made a statement to this gentleman that she in fact did it, that she did it. But your insurance is going to cover it, but for the first $500 on a new car, if you have a $500 deductible. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
My brother did that damage with her boyfriend, which was drunk.
That's ridiculous. And if I have to go to criminal court, I will.
He said he was doing a 360 and hit a curb. That's why her wheels messed up.
She admitted to my brother, to him, to everybody, to myself in the courtroom, in front of everybody, that she did it and that she was going to do it again.
It's lies.
Jealousy, I don't know what it is.
So, in other words, I'm just screwed.
I just can't believe my family is disgusting like that.
Homemaker Cassie Zelaric and her daughter, 23-year-old student Adina Heyer, are suing their neighbor, 22-year-old groundskeeper Andrew Southards, for the balance due on a car and for filing false charges against Adina.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 110 on the calendar in the matter of Zelaric Heyer versus Southards. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Larrick, it is your claim that you sold a car to the defendant and he refuses to pay what he owes on the car. And the second part of your claim is that he had an altercation with your daughter and he made false charges of assault against her. You're Miss Heyer?
Yes.
How old are you?
23.
And you want to be compensated for these false charges. Mr. Southards says that the car was a piece of junk and the charges were true. So, Mr. Southards, you bought this car?
I made a $25 payment on this car.
Let's start with the premise, sir,
Okay.
that I'm older than you are and I know more.
Right.
So don't dance around with words.
Okay.
You bought a car,
Correct.
and after you bought the car, you made one payment.
Correct.
Now we're talking, Mr. Southards. When did you buy the car, sir?
12502 is when I put in my name.
Fine. And you gave her how much money?
Nothing.
What was the agreed purchase price?
$400.
And you knew Mrs. Alaric before you bought the car?
That's correct.
How long had you known her?
Approximately maybe 2 years.
Is this the first car you ever purchased?
No, ma'am.
How many cars have you purchased before?
I'd say about 3.
What were the terms of the payment that you were supposed to make to Mrs. Alaric?
I would give her $25 a month until I received my income tax.
And then you would pay her the balance?
Correct.
Good. You see how easy this is going to be?
Yeah.
You didn't expect it to be so easy, did you?
No.
Now, you said you made one $25 payment?
That's correct.
When did you make the $25 payment?
I'm not sure exact date.
When did he make the payment? You see, I knew you were going to get a turn.
He made that payment February 21st.
Now, when you got the title to the car, Mr. Southards, did you also take possession of the car?
Well, I had possession of the car beforehand.
You did?
Correct. Ms. Zalarek was not pressed for the money, as she had told me. She just wanted the car off her insurance and off the street.
Try not to volunteer any answers. It makes my job much easier. When did you take possession of the car?
In January.
Before you got the title?
Correct.
And you were doing some work on the car.
Correct.
Was the car running or not running when you purchased it?
It wasn't running.
So you had to do some work to put it in a running state.
Correct.
So it wasn't a surprise to you if the car could not be driven, that work had to be done on the car.
Correct.
Or this is like shooting fish in a barrel.
Take your time.
January 25th, then, not only did you have the car, but you had the title. You made a payment February 21st. Now, sir, I assume that you have received your income tax refund back. Is that right?
That's correct.
Why didn't you pay her the money?
Because the car was a lemon, and she had lied to me about nothing being majorly wrong with the car, when in fact it had a blown head gasket. And the muffler on the car, you could only get through the manufacturer, and that would cost $800.
How many weeks did you have this car, sir, before you got the title?
Maybe 3.
Well, in the 3 weeks' time that you had the car, sir, before you got the title, did you know it needed a muffler?
At that time, no, until I got it on the road to get inspected.
So you had the car, you were working on the car, you put it in a condition where it would run, go from here to here,
Correct.
but you couldn't tell it needed a muffler. What?
It,
Either way, it doesn't look good for you, sir. Either answer. So why don't you just tell me the truth? Let's make it easy for each other.
no, ma'am.
No what?
I didn't think it needed a muffler.
Well, if you didn't think it needed a muffler, and you're a guy who's bought 3 used cars and was fixing them up yourself, what makes you think this lady, who probably the only thing she knows about cars is putting a key in an ignition, turning it on, and maybe turning on a radio station, what would make you think she knew it was a lemon?
I talked to her husband.
Her! You bought it from her.
Okay. I spoke to her and her husband, which was familiar with the car. They had problems with it before.
They had wasn't running, sir. What do you mean they had problems with it before? It wasn't running. You couldn't take it from point A to point B when you took it off their hands. Did you have it towed?
No, I pushed it.
You pushed it.
We're neighbors.
That's not the usual way you get a car from point A to point B, by pushing it. That would lead a reasonably intelligent person or a very smart fool to the conclusion that there was something majorly wrong with the car.
There wasn't anything majorly wrong as far as starting it. And Mr. Zalarak, when they had parked the car, which had been sitting there for about a year on the street, had told me that when they parked it, it was running.
When you bought it for $400, and we're not talking $4,000 or $40,000, when you bought it for $400, it wasn't running. And what year car was this?
82.
So the car is 20 years old.
Right.
You've bought 3 used cars before. The car isn't running. You have to push it from one place to another in order to work on it. You had it for 3 weeks. You played with this, you played with that, you put money into it, whatever, you finally got it running. She gave you the tags, and you went to have it registered?
Correct.
In order to have it registered, did you have to have it inspected?
Yes.
Did it pass inspection?
No, it didn't.
Oh. Is that when you decided not to pay her any more money?
That's not correct. No.
Well, when did you decide not to pay her any more money?
When I found out all the problems, that came out of this car wasn't worth putting the money into.
Now, Mr. Southards, pay careful attention to me.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
The plaintiff says, take the car, work on it. Don't give me any money. See if you can get it going. Is that about right?
No, we had a contract.
Okay, I'm going to look at it. You take the car, you take it to a mechanic, and you say, look at this car, tell me whether it's worth it for me to buy it, right? A 20-year-old car. If you didn't do that, that's your fault. Let me see the contract. That's not her fault. Well, this says he's supposed to put down $100. He didn't. No. You gave it to him anyway.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They come in my house. I tell them to get off my property. I don't want you here. She ends up getting in my face and pushing me. They're tag team partners. They've done it before. This is family matters.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cassie Zalaric and her daughter, Adina Heyer, are suing their neighbor, Andrew Southards, for the unpaid balance on a car. Andrew says both ladies are obsessed with him.
Okay. So you owe him $375 for the car. That was the easy part. Now, let's get to the harder part. You claim that he filed false assault charges against you. I want you to tell me how that came about.
On February 25th, he came over to our house and got into an argument with my mother about the car because he didn't want to pay for it because it was a piece of, he said. There were some things that my mother wanted to talk to his girlfriend about, so she proceeded to go down to her house. He followed us up there. He went in before we did. He pushed my mother out the door and slammed the door on her. We asked Heather, his girlfriend, if we could come into her house, and she said yes. She wanted to know what was going on. Andy was very outraged that we had went down there.
What'd you go down there for?
She's been harassing my daughter, trying to date her and all when he's supposed to be with this girl engaged to her.
What's that your business? What's that your business?
Him harassing my daughter?
No, him trying to date your daughter.
Well, he was also calling me, asking me if I thought my daughter would date him, and...
That's fine. The reason you went to his girlfriend's house is to make trouble, right? Right?
Right.
Because his girlfriend isn't a police officer. If he's harassing your daughter, what you do is you call the police. If you want to be a troublemaker, you go to his girlfriend's house. All right, but now you're there. You're at the girlfriend's house. Girlfriend invites you in, he slammed the door. Let me hear about these charges that he made against you.
He was screaming and hollering at me and calling me an easy, a skank. He was just very outraged. And the whole problem was because the week before, he was continuously calling me on my cell phone, calling my house, asking me to go out, and I told him no.
Why did you go to his girlfriend's house?
Because my mother went down there and I wanted to make sure that everything was okay.
Donna.
I'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
Now, is this where the alleged assault took place at the girlfriend's house?
Yes.
Now you can tell me what the assault was, sir.
Okay, this is all out of revenge because I didn't want to mess with their daughter. They're both, they like me.
Get to your girlfriend's house.
Anyway,
I don't know why, sir. Get to the girlfriend. You're at the girlfriend's.
This is also my house.
Oh, your house, your girlfriend's
right. This
house.
is where I live. Okay.
Good.
They follow me down to my house. They come in my house. I tell them to get off my property. I don't want you here. They're tag team partners. They've done it before. This is a family matters. Anyway, they come in my house without asking anybody to come in. My girlfriend says, okay, they're here already. They're raising a ruckus. Neighbors are out in the yard. They're cussing, swearing. Yeah, I did call her those names, but if the shoe fits, wear it. Hey, that's how I look at it. But as we get in the house, that's my house. I had to say what I had to say. I told them to leave. My girlfriend said, well, I'll hear the story, then y'all need to leave. They carried it on still. She ends up getting in my face and pushing me over a playpen, which my 1-year-old daughter at the time is in. Okay, this is when I decided to call the police.
So she pushed you?
Correct.
What hospital were you taken to when she pushed you?
I wasn't taken to a hospital. The fact is, I almost...
What doctor did you see as a result of your injuries?
No doctor.
What medical treatment did you receive from EMS when they arrived at the scene?
Nothing. As far as assault...
May I see the photographs of your injuries?
No photographs.
What are you laughing at, you idiot? What are you laughing at?
The point that there doesn't have to be marks to be assaulted.
Yes, there does, sir.
Okay.
Yes, there does.
Then how?
Because an attempted assault means that you intend to cause injury. Why don't you be quiet?
Okay.
And pay attention?
Okay.
An assault means that you cause injury. If you touch somebody by way of a battery and you do not cause any injury, that is an attempted assault. So you had no injuries, is that right?
No.
And after you got pushed into the playpen, they left?
No.
They stayed and continued to argue?
Correct. After I asked them to leave continuously.
All right, now let's
I have statements that have been notarized from a girl.
I don't read statements notarized, sworn to, in blood.
Well, they couldn't be here to testify, so.
Why, are they in the military?
No. I have a child.
Just answer my question. Okay. Are you married to your girlfriend?
Not at this time. Planning.
And this is a house or an apartment?
An house.
Who lives in the house?
My girlfriend. We have 2 daughters and myself.
2 daughters?
Correct.
How old are the 2 children?
One's 4 and one's 1 year and 4 months.
Now, is there a lease in the house?
A lease? Yes.
Lease for the house.
Correct.
Whose name is the lease?
It's in her name.
Right. Who pays the rent on the house?
Both of us.
Does your girlfriend receive any state aid for the children or for herself?
No.
So she does not receive any public assistance or welfare for the children?
Not to my knowledge.
What?
Not to
your knowledge.
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
We can start back over.
I want to know if you've been living there for 2 years, sir.
Okay.
And you explain to me why, just out of curiosity, and I want you to understand.
Okay.
You're younger and better looking. I'm older and smarter.
Okay.
Explain to me why the house isn't in both your names. Is not an answer.
Okay. At the time, we were having a lot of disputes, and we didn't know if we were going to be together or not. So I was not trying to get stuck in a situation where I ended up paying on a house that I might not live in because of our relationship.
You still had children together. Who was supposed
Correct.
to pay for the children?
I take care of my children.
Oh, sure you do.
I do.
Oh,
That's my
right.
number one priority.
Number one priority.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cassie Zalaric and her daughter, Adina Heyer, are suing their neighbor, Andrew Southards, for the unpaid balance on a car. Andrew says both ladies are obsessed with him.
Okay, listen. What happened as a result of these baloney assault charges that he filed?
I missed several of my classes in school.
Big deal. You had no reason to go there.
I was.
You had no reason to go there.
Yeah.
What? You had no reason to go to his house, whether it's his house or his girlfriend's house.
Yes.
Whether they're playing hanky-panky with the government or not, who knows? You and your mother had no reason to go to the house, and when he told you to leave, you should have left. And whether you were charged with trespass or you're charged with an assault or an attempted assault, whatever, you weren't convicted of anything. So your claim for false arrest is dismissed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But you're entitled to your car money back, $375. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't want nothing to do with them, and they're obsessed with me.
There is no way I would ever want to be with somebody like him.
Phone calls from the mother and the daughter, how they want to get out with me, and, you know.
That's outrageous.
One time I was taking a shower, and the mom called and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm taking a shower." She said, "Well, can I come over and help you?"
I just don't know where he's coming up with those.
16-year-olds Justin and Dustin Brooks and their mother, restaurant manager Debbie Brooks, are suing 17-year-old Tyson Stout and his mother, restaurant owner Karen Stout. Justin and Dustin claim Tyson attacked them with a knife.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 184 on the calendar in the matter of Brooks versus Stout.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Brooks, these are your two sons? And you're here only because they're minors.
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't present during this incident, is that right?
No.
Why don't you have a seat? And this is your son?
Yes.
And you're here because he's a minor?
Correct.
And you weren't there during the course of this incident,
Correct.
even though if I find in the plaintiff's favor, you're going to have to pay the judgment. But you weren't there. So why don't you have a seat?
Thank you.
Now I have before me the idiots. So you're in one car and you're in another car.
No, I stayed on the side of the road.
Tell me what happened, Justin.
We was driving around the square.
Listen to me. How old are you?
16.
Do you go to school?
Yes, I do.
You were driving around.
We were driving around the loop, and we was at a stop sign, and a truck.
You were at a stop sign.
Yes, and a truck was in front of me, and a truck was behind me, and they blocked me, and I couldn't move. And like 6 or 7 girls came up, kicking out my car, and I couldn't move or anything. And then all of a sudden, I see Tyson running up to my car, and
How many people were in your car?
it was me, Dustin, and my ex-girlfriend.
Now, did you know these people in the trucks that were blocking you?
No, I don't.
Where had you been that evening?
I was at my girlfriend's house because that was her birthday.
So did she have a party?
No, it was just
You were
we
just.
yes. I guess.
Go ahead.
Well, it wasn't actually a party. It was just hanging out at her house, and we decided to go cruising, so we went up cruising.
What's cruising?
Well, cruising the loop, like driving around listening
Cruising
to
the
music.
what?
Loop.
Cruising the loop.
Yeah.
What is your version of having fun?
Listening to music and talking to people on the square. That's when that accident happened.
What accident?
That when we got pretty much jumped
So far, what you've told me is a bunch of girls came up to your car and started to kick the car.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Let's pick it up from there.
Well, he kicked out the window.
But I thought the girls were kicking the
Well,
car.
they were, and then he ran up to the car, kicked the window out, and then
Which window?
it was a passenger right window.
Pretty high kick.
Yeah.
He kicked the window out.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and then what happened?
then and then Dustin was getting out of the car to run, and then Tyson cut his arm.
How did Tyson cut his arm?
I didn't see it because I was.
You didn't see it.
I was driving, so.
You didn't see it. Is that right?
That's right.
So then we go to Dustin.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you twins?
Yes, ma'am.
You always dress alike?
No, ma'am.
Did you do that especially for me today?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you thought it would
Yes, ma'am.
confuse me?
No, ma'am.
You're Dustin.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened to you.
When I was getting out,
What were you getting out for?
to run because there were so many kids around. I ain't sticking around.
Just a minute. How many kids were around?
Probably 15.
What were they doing around your car?
Actually, I don't know. They don't like me.
Dustin, something tells me something happened before that. Dustin.
Actually, there was nothing happened. They don't like us because in the past there was the girls.
Who's we?
Me and Justin. The girls that they was going out with their boyfriends and everything, and they didn't like us. And
I want you to, at all times when you're testifying, I want you to look in my eyes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the girls didn't like you because they were going out with their boyfriends and blah, 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 blah. I didn't get anything after that. That made sense.
Because we get in fights with them because they don't like us, okay? So
you get in fights with the girls or the boys?
The boys. And so the women hates us for
so
that.
the girls hate you?
Yes.
Why do you get in fights with the boys, Dustin?
Because I don't know how to read and they pick on me and I ain't taking nobody's crap. It's that's the reason.
And so because of that, you think that these people don't like you. You don't say anything to them.
No.
You never start up with them.
No.
Does your brother know how to read?
No.
Is there any reason?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
What do
there
you
is.
mean you don't know? Do you go for special tutoring?
Yes.
For how long?
For how long? Since we was in kindergarten?
Do you go to school every day?
Yes, ma'am.
Every day?
Not every day, no.
Dustin, don't throw the bull at me. Because if you can drive a car, I assume you have a license, you had to take a test. You had to take as part of the test a written test.
We didn't take a written test, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
How come?
Because we don't know how to read.
So they allowed you to drive a car without knowing how to read. Stop, go, hazard ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
What state is that?
It's Iowa.
I'm staying out of there. How often do you go to school? Once a week, maybe?
No, ma'am.
The reason why we go probably once a week is because we don't get taught nothing, because they didn't teach us timetables or multiplication tables or anything like that.
So now you stay home and cruise.
No, I don't cruise anymore.
So tell me what happened, Dustin, after you were going to get out of the car and run.
Well, I put my left arm up
Watch, right here.
I put my left arm up on the door, and I was looking down to push myself up out of the car, and Tyson come up and cut my arm, and I look at him, I see the knife in his hand, and he took off running with everybody else took off running, and Justin tells me to get back in the car, sit down. By then the truck was in front of us, was gone. We took off, went to the hospital.
You went to the
I
hospital?
got 5 stitches, and there's pictures and stuff like that my mom has.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
One of my friends told me because that he was going out with one of the girls at the time that they liked. They've threatened to kill a baby before.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-olds Justin and Dustin Brooks claim 17-year-old Tyson Stout attacked them with a knife. Tyson says the twins threatened to kill his friend's baby.
Now, were you charged with assault?
No, ma'am.
What were you charged with?
Burglary in the 2nd degree.
Burglary.
Forcing entry into an occupied structure.
Tyson, I want you to tell me, and I want you to be very careful, Tyson, because I already got their story. I want you to tell me your version. By the way, you go to school in Iowa?
I don't go to school. I got my GED. I'm starting college in February.
Does anybody ever finish high school in your jurisdiction?
No.
No. All right. Tell me what you were doing standing on the side of the road and what was going on at the side of the road where these guys were cruising.
Me and some friends were just standing around.
Listen, you're starting college next year?
Yeah. Some friends and I.
Yeah.
We're standing around talking, having fun, and then these two, they just keep on driving around mouthing and
Mouthing what?
just calling us names and
Like
running
what?
holes, stuff like that. The F word,
And how many times did they drive around?
probably 2 or 3.
Any of that sound familiar to you? Justin and Dustin?
No, because
Go ahead.
Then about the third time they pulled around, we had a car, not a truck, stop them. And one of my friends told me, sticking up for one of my friends, one of them told me that they've threatened to kill his baby before because that he was going out with one of the girls at the time that they liked, and she had a baby. And he told me that
How old was this genius?
at 18.
Go ahead.
I was going to go up and say something to him. He rolled up the window real quick, got mad, kicked the car door.
You went up to the car because you were really mad because a friend of yours told you that somebody disrespected somebody,
Threatened his family.
threatened his baby,
Yeah.
so that you went up to the car to confront them, which was very
Wrong.
stupid.
Yeah.
And then he did the smart thing, rolled up the window,
Yes.
because he had been doing a very stupid thing, cruising around and calling people names and, just being a general Tweedledum and Tweedledee, being two idiots, right?
Yes.
Because I expect the truth from you. I really expect the whole truth from you. From them, I didn't get the truth so far. All I got from them was they were just driving around being very mild young men because they suffer from a handicap, because they can't read, because they have a disability, because despite the fact that they go to school every day and try very, very hard to learn, they can't learn to read, right?
Yep.
So I expect the truth from you. And you went up to the car, and how many times did you kick the car?
Once.
And when you kicked the car once, did you break the window?
Yes.
What happened next?
I ran to a friend's car, got in the car, and left.
Did you at any time cut Dustin with a knife?
No, ma'am.
Were you ever charged with cutting him with a knife?
No, ma'am.
Anybody have a police report?
Your Honor, I went to get a police report, but they couldn't release it because he was a juvenile.
Nobody has a police report.
I couldn't get one.
Now, you were found guilty of whatever, of vandalizing the car, which you did kick at least
Burglary.
once. Burglary.
Yes.
Was this the first time you were convicted of anything, or have you been convicted of something before?
Had a possession of alcohol charge before and assault causing injury before.
Assaulting whom?
A kid is picking on my little sister.
And what did you do to him?
Put him in a headlock, slammed him into the locker.
Tyson, you got to learn to control yourself.
I
Do
have.
you understand that?
Yes.
Well, you haven't. At least you didn't on that evening, because you went up to the car for no reason. This fight didn't concern you at all.
No.
And you went up there and kicked their car. Now, according to you, Justin, there were a lot of girls around there who were kicking your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you charge any of them?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Because I was not going to get out of my car because there was too many of them, and I'm not going to get out of my car to hit a girl.
I didn't ask you why you didn't hit him. I asked you why you didn't tell the police that there were a lot of people there kicking your car, making dents in your car before he came.
We did.
to the
I did,
car.
ma'am.
Did you have damage to your car?
Not by the girls.
How do you know that?
Because I live on a gravel road with and I had a lot of dust on my car, and there was no dents or anything.
So the only damage that was done to your car was him knocking the window out of your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
And when I was trying to get out of the car, I accidentally put my foot through like where my speaker was because my foot got caught.
What were you trying to get out of the car for?
Because I was going to run.
15 people around you and you were going to run? Or were you going to fight them?
I was going to run.
Have you ever been arrested before?
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
Fighting.
There's no such crime in the penal law as fighting.
Assault.
There's assault in the penal law. And you?
Same thing.
Assault.
Yes.
How many times, Justin, have you been arrested for assault?
Numerous times.
And you, Dustin?
Same thing.
How many times have you been found guilty of assault?
Every
Many
time.
times.
Because I committed to him.
What do you mean you committed to him?
I said,
Plead guilty.
I told him that I did it. I didn't lie about it.
But you don't learn. Can I see the paperwork on the order of conviction for burglary and any other paperwork that you have with regard to a court order by a judge? Moms, you can stand up now. I want to see it. Tyson, how come you lied initially?
So I didn't want to get in trouble for it.
Who did you lie to, please?
My JCO,
What's JCO?
juvenile court officer.
And when you lied to the juvenile court officer initially, Tyson, did you lie to him the same kind of face that you're lying to me?
No.
I want you to show me your lying face.
Grin.
What?
I have a grin on my face when I lie.
Really? We believed you when you lied to him initially, right?
Yep.
It's just sometimes hard to figure out who's lying and who's not.
Yep.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Ah, right. Because the first time you spoke to your juvenile officer, you told me you didn't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. Well, after you had this problem in 1999, Tyson, you were expelled from school for another problem with another student. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Got a bad temper?
Yep.
Now I'd like to see the paperwork you have as a result of this incident.
I just got medical bills here.
So you didn't turn it into your insurance?
The hospital didn't turn it in, no.
I'm surprised. Why not?
That I have no idea. They didn't turn it in. The insurance cards was there, but they never turn it in.
Well, they will. They will. They should. And your boys are covered?
They're covered.
Now I'd like you to come up here, Dustin, because I want to take a look at your arm. Is this the scar?
Yeah, big one right there. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Tyson, I have to make a judgment whether or not you actually cut Dustin with a knife. And it is my belief that you did. Because when somebody is injured like that, and there's no question, I've read the hospital records, and there's no question he had a laceration, and there's no question that he had sutures. When that happens, you want the person who is responsible to be prosecuted. Now, you were, in fact, charged with assault with a weapon. The fact that you pled guilty to cover all the charges and the rest of the charges were dismissed doesn't mean that you were found not guilty of those charges. It means that you pled. It means that you pled out.
Plea bargain.
That's right. Look how smart you're getting. You also have a temper. Now, these two idiots were driving around, and their mother knows that they were driving around doing the wrong thing, right?
Well, yeah.
They were doing the wrong thing, but that doesn't give you license to take out even a pocket knife, which is what you took out, and cut him. Doesn't give you license to do that. You're lucky. You're lucky that they let you get away with it.
No, I didn't stab him, ma'am.
Yes, you did. You stabbed him. You didn't stab him. You cut him. I mean, stabbing is this way.
His ex-girlfriend came up to me last week and apologized for lying to the cops about it.
Listen, you tell me who cut him.
Nobody did.
Sure they did. He was cut.
He cut himself.
How?
With a knife?
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
You think that he's dumb enough to do that? I mean, it's possible.
Yes, I do.
It's possible that he's dumb enough to do that. Possible. I don't think so. And the problem is that you put yourself in the situation by going over, getting involved in a situation that you had absolutely no reason to be involved with. Somebody said something made you mad. You went up to the car, kicked the car, knocked the window out. Stupid. The fact that you started it because you were looking for trouble, driving around, shouting out of the car, with your girlfriend, it was her birthday, your mother shouldn't have let you drive a car anyway. They don't go to school. You explain to me why they don't go to school.
They've been on add and subtract since they've been in second grade, and I'm tired of it. 95% of the kids in Iowa get their GED.
In any event, I find that you cut them. I also find that they're a little bit culpable themselves and that they had no out-of-pocket expenses with regard to this injury because the insurance is going to cover it. Now, did he pay for breaking the window?
No, I've got the estimate on.
Just tell me how much it was for breaking the window.
The window's at $189, but I've got pictures of other damages that was done to the car.
I don't care what the other damage was done to the car. There were 12 girls around the car that they chose not to identify because your son said, well, we live on a dirt road and the car was very dirty. He went up, he kicked the car, he kicked the window out of the car, and there were 12 other people involved. So it's $189 for the car and $1,000 for cutting him. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,189. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think they're liars.
Oh, I'm sure it was 50-50.
I didn't stab no one. They made up a story.
Since he used the knife, I was thinking about, well, I should step out of the car and use a crowbar on him, but I decided to stay in my car and so I wouldn't get in trouble.
They like beating on girls.
They've been picked on ever since they've been in kindergarten.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Mason Wilson versus Wilson. Step forward, please.
Thomas Mason and his fiancée, Joanne Wilson, are suing Joanne's son, 21-year-old fast food worker Jesse Wilson. Joanne says during an argument, Jesse assaulted her.
You're Mrs. Wilson.
Yes.
Is that right? And this is your boyfriend. His name is Mason.
Yes, that's correct.
And this is your son.
Yes.
And it is your claim that your son assaulted you, which resulted in your hospitalization. You want him to pay for any unreimbursed medical costs that you had, as well as for something for pain and suffering. I don't know what Mr. Mason is doing here unless he paid some of the bills. Did you, sir?
I paid them, Your Honor, yes.
You paid them, that's why you're here. Your son says that he didn't assault you, that you fell over a table because you were drunk. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did this incident occur?
January 15th. Yeah.
Where?
In my house.
Who was at home?
I was at home. He was there. In fact, he was leaving that day.
Who was he?
My son. And
leaving permanently?
Yeah.
Why?
He was moving out.
Why?
Well, he thought $25 a week was too much. He said he should pay nothing to live with me.
How old is he?
He's 21.
Go ahead. So what
happened? So we got into argument that night. And
what did you get into an argument about?
Miscellaneous things. And I quite don't remember. I remember falling, and I remember him picking me up, and he was saying sorry to me. He said, Ma, I'm sorry. And he put me on the couch. After that, I don't remember nothing. Except when going to the hospital, they had to put a thing around my neck. They had me in a board, and then they had to rush me from that hospital to another hospital.
The only thing you remember is him picking you up, saying?
I remember him saying, Ma, I'm sorry. He picked me up and put me on the couch. And then I woke up later on, and my boyfriend came later that night, and he made me go to the hospital. I wasn't going to the hospital. I was dizzy and everything, but I told him I would be fine. And he told me, no, I think you better go to the hospital. Something don't look right.
Had you been drinking?
Yeah, I had been drinking.
How much?
I had maybe a half a pint that night.
Half a pint of what?
Rum.
What time did you start drinking?
It was about 6 o'clock that night.
Do you drink every night?
No.
How often do you drink?
I drink on a weekend, occasionally on weekends.
You have a drinking problem?
No.
You have anything to drink today?
No.
All right, Mr. Wilson. Your mother says that you said sorry. You want to tell me what happened?
I had came home from work at the time of the day of my birthday, and
this was your birthday?
Yes, my birthday. I had came home, right, and she was drunk because I smelled it on her breath. Me and her got into an argument over how stuff was going in the house. I told her I have no, like me. Sometimes I might leave something around the house, something like a cup or a plate or something. I understand. Sometimes I do intend to forget stuff, but I always do what I have to do in the house, you know. And when she kicked me out, I was getting all my belongings, and she had grabbed me.
Where did she grab you?
She grabbed me in my left arm, and when I told her, "Can you get off me?" she did not want to let go. And when I took my arm like that to get her off me, she had fell back and lost her balance.
You didn't hit her, did you?
No, I would never assault my mother.
Never put your hands on her?
No.
Well, she doesn't remember what happened. All she remembers is falling, and you saying you're sorry. So what are we doing here? Mr. Mason, what are we doing here, sir?
Well, Your Honor, this has been going on for quite a while. It isn't this the first time. He broke a window once before in the house because he got mad.
What do you...
I have bills here, and I have the original letter that I wrote to him, gave him plenty of time. All I was looking for was my original amount of money that I put out.
For what?
For the expenses of what it costs to take her to the hospital.
Just a minute. There's no proof he assaulted her, sir.
Well, I had asked her what happened when I came home. She called up this friend of mine. I was at his house and I came home. She had told me what happened, that Jesse had pushed her. And I said, you best you go to the hospital, get checked out. We went to one hospital, and they needed better equipment. They had to transfer her to another hospital, and they weren't sure if she would be paralyzed from the neck down or not. And like I said, it's not a question of just now. It's been a question of a problem when the $25 a week that he's paying rent. Are we going to get television, the telephone, the whole thing over here for $25 a week? And then he wanted to live for nothing.
How long have the two of you been living together?
Over 2.5 years.
And whose house is it?
It's her apartment.
It's her apartment?
Yeah.
And he's not
So,
on the lease.
just a second. So you're living in her apartment?
Half and half, Your Honor. I have my own apartment right around the corner.
What do you mean half and half?
I stay sometimes, a lot of times. I stay on the average 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time.
Listen to me. It's none of your business.
Okay?
This is between Miss Wilson and her son. Has nothing to do with you. Nothing. As far as I'm concerned, Miss Wilson shouldn't be here with her son today. She had a little too much to drink, and if she got into even a shoving match with her son and she fell, that's unfortunate. Probably was tipsy to begin with and fell. She shouldn't be fighting with her son. She shouldn't be fighting with her son on his birthday. And you shouldn't pour salt in the wound because you're not family. You don't precipitate coming to court when you're not even related. Precipitate a mother for bringing a lawsuit against her child. That doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't let anybody pressure you into bringing a lawsuit against your son, which you probably wouldn't have done on your own.
No, but I think he deserves it, especially when he busted my window. I wasn't even supposed to let him live with me. Housing don't want him there because he got kicked out of his sister's house because of the same problem.
Miss Wilson, let me tell you something. I'm not giving him any stars for good behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long you've been drinking, but I would guess, based upon my experience in the courts, that you've been drinking a long time. Long time.
Okay.
That's not the way to bring up a child. So if you have a child that is troubled at age 20, you look to yourself and say, what did I do as a mother? Was I drinking most of the time? Was I doing the right thing most of the time? And if you were not, you don't precipitate a lawsuit because you set zero example for him. Just want you to think about that. Your lawsuit's dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's got to smarten up. It's as simple as that.
I understand that's her boyfriend. He has nothing to do with it.
This isn't the first time this is taking place.
He should stay out of it, like the judge said.
He's had trouble in the apartment before.
I don't know how my mother could make some man come in between her son and her.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Epps versus Ward. Step forward, please.
24-year-old bus driver Matisha Epps is suing her former friend, 22-year-old college student Melinda Ward, for an unpaid loan for a car.
Well, there's certain things, Miss Epps, in your complaint that I understand and some that I'm a little confused about. So let me start with what I do understand. You tell me if I'm correct. This was a friend of yours?
No, this is my cousin's girlfriend.
But she was a friend of yours?
Yeah.
And she wanted to buy a car?
Yes.
And she asked you for a loan for the down payment on the car?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you wrote out a check for the dealership for how much money? $2,500?
$2,500.
And you post-dated the check?
Yes, Your Honor.
She said to you, according to your complaint, don't worry, by the time the date comes when the check is going to be deposited, I will have enough money so that I'll give it to you and the check will be covered.
No, Your Honor, she's supposed to pay it to the finance company.
So she was going to pay it herself so that they would never cash your check?
Exactly, Your Honor.
Well, she didn't do that.
No.
And they cashed your check?
Exactly.
And you were forced to make good on that check?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Ward says she called you before the time that they cashed your check and told you to put a stop payment on the check because she wasn't going to be able to come up with the money.
Yes, my ex-fiance called Letitia Epps a week prior to October 21st and asked her to place stop payment on the check. For whatever reason, she didn't do so.
Just a second, because you weren't going to have the money.
Yes.
Did he ever call you?
Yes, Your Honor, he did.
And what did he say when he called you?
He told me that they weren't going to have the money yet, and so I could put a stop payment on the check.
And why didn't you do that?
It was just like a couple of days in advance. I don't believe it was a week in advance. It was just like maybe a couple of days in advance when he called and told me that they weren't going to have the money. And by the time that I called the bank, it was too late. They had posted the check.
But he called you before.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you stop payment on it? Why didn't you call immediately that day?
I work 6 days a week and I work long hours.
If you work 6 days a week and long hours, it would seem to me that $2,500 is important to you. So now I understand, and I understand that you made the call. Did you, in fact, buy that car? Is not an answer.
Okay. Yes, I did buy the car.
Good. So you got the benefit of her $2,500. Is that right?
Yes.
So what difference does it make? What are you? Are you stupid? Is he stupid? If you said to me I couldn't afford to buy the car, and I didn't buy the car, but you bought the car using her $2,500, and now you don't think that you have to pay her back?
Well, had she had placed stop payment on the check, I wouldn't have even had the car.
Just a second. You're some piece of work. Now, what kind of moral character do you think that I believe that you have because you didn't pay her back the $2,500?
I tried.
What do you mean you tried? What does that mean you tried?
Well, after the check went through, my ex-fiance and I attempted to give her $200 in which she could have put towards the check. She said she didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
She gave us the number to call whoever the financial company that was dealing with the check. They didn't want to deal with us because it was her check. So we definitely tried.
Well, you're making payments now on the car, aren't you?
No, I don't have the car anymore.
Where is it?
It got totaled in an accident.
When?
Last July.
You think I should believe everything you're telling me?
I don't have a reason to lie.
Go ahead.
I also like to say, this is my cousin. Miss Epps is my cousin. I went to her house. We did the best we could. Honestly.
No, you didn't. You did the best you could. You were driving around in a car that she paid for. The best you could is to pay her back the $2,500.
That's what I'm saying. When we realized that we weren't going to have all the money, we went to talk with her. We contacted her, and we also went to talk with her about that. I went to her with money in my hand. She said because, like she said, because she works and everything, I was under the impression that she didn't want to deal with it. She told me to deal with it, the best way I could.
Did you ever hear the expression "no good deed goes unpunished"?
Yes.
That's what happened. They are two amoral people. I was sympathetic with them at first. If he called and said, listen, we don't have the money, and you didn't get around to calling and putting a stop payment on the check, but then they went ahead and bought the car and paid for it. How long did you drive that car before it was totaled?
A year.
And during that year, if they had said, every month I'm going to give you $200, you would have had your money.
Yes.
You didn't do that, did you? The answer is yes or no. Did you do that?
We wasn't allowed to. No, we wasn't allowed to, Your Honor. If I can explain to you.
No, you can't explain to me.
Okay.
You mean to tell me that if every month you put $200 in an envelope and left it in her mailbox, that she would have taken the $100 bills and thrown them away? Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
No.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now, I'm a.
What kind of work do you do?
Actually, I'm unemployed right now.
Right.
I was a custodian.
Right. You're unemployed right now. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all. Goodbye.
Thank you, Lord. Step out.
My credit was damaged.
It's my cousin. I love her.
It took away for vacations for me and my kids.
Sorry about that, too.
I apologize. I hope you can forgive me.
I can. I have no hard feelings at all.
25-year-old auto painter Mike Lewis is suing his former friend, 21-year-old bartender Mary Goodman, for having him falsely arrested for grand theft auto. Mary says Mike left her no other choice.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 71 on the calendar in the matter of Lewis versus Goodman. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Lewis, it is your claim that the defendant filed a false police report about you causing your arrest. You spent, according to what I read, about 16 days in jail as a result of that arrest. Is that right?
Correct.
And you want to be compensated.
Correct.
Tell me how this all started.
Well, it originally started when I met her. I was chatting with her over the internet. Came to be that I wound up moving to the city where she was from because I was offered a job there. She was married at the time. I decided to meet her. Her husband was supposed to come with us, but he didn't show up, so we just became friends. My roommate that I was living with at the time had started dating her friend.
Don't give me all this social relationship. I'm really not interested. Cut to the chase. You met her on the internet. You moved to where she was living.
Right.
You became friends.
Right. Okay. Then it came to a point where I needed a vehicle. My friend Vinny here owns a car lot in Daytona Beach. I called him up and told him I needed a vehicle. I told him that I didn't want the vehicle in my name.
Why not?
Because I had did a deposition for him in his divorce trial, and his wife, being the one that he's divorcing, works at the car lot also. If she'd have saw the title in my name, knowing that I did the deposition, for him, that would have looked kind of fishy, as if like he was trying to bribe me or something. Right. So, and I was, paying him for the vehicle, and so we didn't want it to look like he was just bribing me with the vehicle. So Mary had agreed to put it in her name, and she had the insurance policy to put it on there with, so we did that. Okay.
So your friend, your new friend, agreed to put the car in her name.
Correct.
But she wasn't paying for the car.
Correct. Until I paid off. I was going to pay him $1,200 for the vehicle, and then once it got paid off, then it was going to be switched over to my name. So.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Then I had it for roughly a month or so, and I decided to move back to Panama City where my kids live. And whenever I walked out of my house, probably 4 or 5 days after I was back into town, the vehicle was gone. The
You
truck
mean
was
you
gone.
moved back to Panama City?
Correct.
And when you walked out one day, there was no car?
It was just gone, right.
Okay.
So I called the police department and told them, I need to check to see if it's been towed. So they said, we don't have any record of that. I said, well, I need to report it stolen then. So the police department came out. The cop got there and he asked for my ID, and I handed it to him. And immediately after handing it to him, he put me in handcuffs and told me I was being arrested for stealing the vehicle. And I was just shocked. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what was going on. Then, I get to the police department and they told me that it was out of Polk County, which was where she's from, and that she had, signed a statement saying that I stole the vehicle from her. So.
Okay. And it was a result of that report that you were arrested and incarcerated?
Correct.
You had no other outstanding warrants or anything else? So it was based solely on the report that she made?
Correct.
Do you have a copy of that police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Okay, I'll hear you.
Your Honor, when I did all this for Mike, I did it as a friend, and Mike
You mean
was not-
allowing the car to be put in your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
He was not making the payments on the vehicle because when he went home for Thanksgiving, Vinny's wife had the truck repossessed from his mother's house. I guess he paid Vinny some money and got the truck back, and then came back to Polk County where I live. Didn't want to pay me the money for the insurance, so I told him, I said, then you're not going to take this truck. You're not driving around in a truck.
So he was supposed to give you money for insurance?
Yes, ma'am. He was supposed to pay for the insurance.
Okay.
I said, you're not going to drive around in a truck with no insurance that's in my name. If he would have gotten in an accident, it would have been me, myself on the line. And I later found out that he didn't even have a driver's license at the time. That's the reason that I went ahead and filed the police report. Before I filed the police report, because I told him, I said, leave the truck with me. If you're not going to pay for the insurance, you're not taking it.
Did you have that conversation?
No, the conversation was that her husband had found out that she had put the insurance in her on the policy or whatever for the truck, and that he canceled the policy. So I told her, I said, the most I owe you is a month's insurance, not the whole premium, which was like $200 and some odd. And I said, I'm not going to pay you the whole premium.
It was $600 something for 6 months.
Or whatever it was. I said, the most I owe you is a month. And I said, and not one point, not at one time did she say, do not take the truck.
Yes,
now,
I did.
my roommate was there at the time, and he was saying, don't take the truck. But the reason why he was saying it was because that was his only means of transportation, was me and him riding together, and he didn't want me to take it. He wanted to keep it there.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Lewis. At the time that you took the truck, did you have insurance?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because I had the insurance card.
Well, if you just a second. If you don't know whether you had insurance, then you didn't have insurance. If you don't know, then you don't have it. Now, at the time that you took the truck, did you have a valid driver's license.
I didn't know it wasn't valid at the time. I really didn't. I didn't know that until I got to put in jail for it. Not for that, but for this. I didn't know that I had...
What was the reason that you didn't have a valid driver's license, Mr. Lewis?
I was in a motorcycle accident the year before, and I didn't work for 8 months, and I got a ticket for the motorcycle accident, and I wasn't able to pay the ticket, and that's what suspended my license.
That's baloney.
No, that's very true.
There's something more to that.
No, that is the God's honest truth.
When you had the motorcycle accident, was there any alcohol involved?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't pay one ticket and they suspended your license?
Well, there was
Is that what
actually
you're
3
telling me?
tickets. There was 3 tickets total.
So you were irresponsible in not paying for the ticket. Is that right, Mr. Lewis?
No, it was either paying my child support or paying my tickets. And if my child support didn't get paid, I would have been put in jail. So whenever I was getting unemployment from a motorcycle accident, I either had to pay my child support or pay these tickets.
How much were the tickets, Mr. Lewis?
A total of $600 and some odd dollars.
And what were the tickets for, Mr. Lewis?
One was for no motorcycle endorsement. One was for...
Just a second. What does that mean, no motorcycle endorsement?
In Florida, you have to have, if you ride a motorcycle, you have to have a endorsement for riding a motorcycle.
What is an endorsement, Mr. Lewis? Let's talk English.
As far as I know, it's just a class that you take to say that you're qualified to ride a motorcycle.
So you didn't take a class in order to ride a motorcycle. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct. I was just simply going on a joyride around the block with somebody, so it wasn't
Lewis,
that I owned a motorcycle.
Mr. Lewis, all right. So you got a ticket because you did the wrong thing by riding a motorcycle without having a proper endorsement.
Correct.
What was the second ticket for, Mr. Lewis?
Improper turn, I think is what it was, or improper something. I'm not sure what it was. It was because when I turned onto the road, I had lost control of the bike, and a truck hit me, and I went into oncoming traffic. So
And what was the third ticket for, Mr. Lewis?
for, I think they call it careless driving because of that. So it's either careless driving or reckless driving. I couldn't remember what they said it was.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You did not pay her for the insurance.
Correct.
You did not have your own insurance policy.
No.
You did not have a valid driver's license.
But I didn't know that.
You didn't know a lot of things.
And later today,
She took some property of yours.
A blouse, some art pads, and I had some Disney books.
Are we talking about nonsense? Are we talking nonsense?
I suppose so.
All right. I don't want to talk about a blouse. I don't have time for a blouse.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mike Lewis says former friend Mary Goodman had him falsely arrested for grand theft auto.
So let me understand this, Mr. Lewis. You were driving a car that was not in your name, that you had put in her name because of some problem that you had with a deposition.
No, it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, that's the story you're telling me now. So you had the car put in her name. You were supposed to pay her directly for the insurance.
Right.
And you did not pay her.
Not for that month, correct.
You did not pay her for the insurance.
Correct.
You did not have your own insurance policy.
No.
You did not have a valid driver's license.
I did when I started.
You did not have a
Not at the
valid
time.
driver's
Not at the time.
license.
But I didn't know that.
Whether you knew it or not, you didn't know a lot of things. And you knew that you should not be driving the car because your roommate told you, don't take the car because you don't have insurance.
Well, see, the reason why
Your roommate told you, don't take the car because you don't have insurance.
Correct, but I also thought that the reason why he was saying that was because he wanted it to stay there because he would have had no way to work. That's why
That's why you thought he was saying that.
Correct.
But the truth is, you didn't have insurance.
To be honest with you, I don't know because it was in her name.
Well, to be honest with you, Mr. Lewis, I was thoroughly prepared to rule in your favor reading the papers because according to the papers, it appeared to me that Miss Goodman was being vindictive when she filed a false police report
Well, Your Honor,
indicating, I'm speaking, indicating that you had stolen the car. But what she said was, in her affidavit, is that you took the car without permission. The car was in her name. You had been using the car. Then she told you not to use the car because there was no insurance. You say no, she says she told you. If she didn't tell you, your roommate told you don't take the car because you don't have insurance. Now, what do you think would have happened? Do you own a home?
No, ma'am. I live with a roommate.
Do you have a car?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a bank account?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what can happen, Mr. Lewis, is if you get into another accident because you are A, making a wrong turn, or B, driving recklessly like you did with your motorcycle, you don't lose anything.
Wrong. The motorcycle that
She loses, I'm speaking, she loses everything. You had no driver's license. You have no insurance, but the car is titled in her name, which means she is responsible. Her bank account is responsible. Her automobile is responsible. And everything she had could be tossed to go to pay if you have another accident in an uninsured motor vehicle that's in her name. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, but...
Good. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They arrested me and took me to jail for stealing the vehicle.
He was responsible for paying for the insurance and for paying for the truck.
I had wound up spending 2 weeks in jail because of this.
I didn't want things to come to the point they came to where he had to be arrested to begin with.
I spent a week or 2 weeks in jail, and I missed the whole week with my kids for Christmas that year.
He did miss time with his children, which I feel bad about.
If she didn't think I should have the vehicle, she should have went to a civil court.
Mike and I were good friends, and I did tell him not to take the truck.
Not once did that ever come out of her mouth. Not once.
Do for yourself. Don't try to do any favors for other.
Pick better friends.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Aaron versus Parusha Das. Step forward, please.
22-year-old airline employee Michael Aaron is suing guest house manager Adi Parusha Das for the refund of a room deposit and for the cost to stay at a hotel. Michael says the guest house turned out to be a Hare Krishna commune.
Mr. Aaron, you made a reservation along with a friend to stay at the defendant's hotel.
That's correct.
Where is his hotel located?
New York, in the East Village.
And where were you visiting from?
Columbus, Ohio.
How did you find out about his hotel?
I had a book that listed a lot of hotels, and actually I called a hotel called the Chelsea. Their hotel was full at the time, and they gave me the telephone number to the sanctuary guest room.
And you were looking for an inexpensive hotel?
That's correct.
Okay. Your lawsuit wants following. You went to his hotel. You had prepaid for 2 nights?
Correct.
You didn't like it. You checked into the room. You went elsewhere and found a room in another hotel. You want the defendant to pay the difference between his hotel and the second hotel that you found.
That's correct.
For 2 nights.
Yes, ma'am.
And also the deposit that you gave for both nights.
Well, I have received the deposit from one night. We made an agreement to get my money back from the Sunday night, but I did not receive the $95 back for the Saturday night stay.
When did you arrive at the hotel?
May 25th, a Saturday, around 3 o'clock.
And were you shown the room?
No, not before I paid.
So you paid, and how much did you give him at that point?
$200, $95 a night, plus a $10 room key deposit.
And then you went up to the room?
Correct.
And?
We went in, I and my friend, Mr. Tannehill, went into the room, and we looked at the beds, and there wasn't a television, and there wasn't a telephone or anything, and all you smelled were incense, and there were pictures of Jesus and Buddha, and the chants and the chimes and things were playing. And I and my friend are looking at one another saying, you know what, this may not work out.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Aaron is suing guest house manager Adi Parusha Das for the refund of a room deposit and for the cost to stay at a hotel. Michael says the guest house turned out to be a Hare Krishna commune.
I have pictures of the room also, if you'd like to take a look, Your Honor.
I would.
We sat down on the bed, and the bed was as hard as a desk. The mattresses, there was no mattress. And we were aware that there was a full-size bed and a twin-size bed, but they were actually something like bunk beds. And there was a lamp in the room, and that's all there was. And there were a whole lot of
Okay, it was a
scarves
room.
hanging around. Yeah,
It was a room. So you didn't like it. So you and your friend left and went out looking for another hotel.
that's correct.
And you found one.
Correct.
And how much was the hotel that you found?
$159 a night. That was tax included. Came to $322 and some change.
You don't honestly expect him to pay the difference between his room and another hotel room.
Actually, I do, Your Honor. You know, had Mr. Audi given me advance notice, we had no idea what this hotel was. None. The rules were there's no smoking, and we knew that in advance. No drinking, didn't know that. No eating meat, didn't know that. No guest in the hotel room, we didn't know that. And you couldn't talk after 9 o'clock because there's praying going on, Your Honor. We were not told those rules in advance at all. We didn't sign a no refund slip. We weren't made aware of any no refund policy, and we were not made aware of any cancellation policy. So under those circumstances, I do believe that he owed
He should
me
pay the difference.
the $95.
I'm not talking about the $95, sir. I'm talking about the difference between his hotel room and the hotel room that you ultimately found.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, you don't get that, because that's ridiculous. You found a hotel room that was substantially more expensive, where I'm sure there was a television, right?
Yes.
And a telephone?
Yes, Your Honor.
And a nice shower?
Yes, Your Honor.
And 2 much more comfortable beds?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the cost was a lot more.
Correct.
So, you want your comfort, you pay for it. You didn't plan on eating meat in the room anyway, did you? Huh?
Well, Your Honor, you know, if you go to a restaurant, you bring something back, you know, it wasn't allowed in the hotel at all.
No. So, I mean, you know. I mean, that wasn't your plan, to, you know.
Not planning on
you know,
it, no.
to barbecue a beef in your
No,
room.
not a barbecue.
Now, Mr. Parushada, do you have something that you give to your tenants? Rules of your hotel?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, we don't.
You don't?
We tell them verbally.
Do you, sir, have a policy in the hotel that you cannot have guests in your room?
No unregistered guests, yes, we do.
In the room?
Yeah.
And do you have a policy in your hotel that there is no talking after 9 o'clock?
No, we don't, Your Honor.
You don't. So you can't talk after 9 o'clock?
Of course.
Well, what is he talking about that you can't talk after 9 o'clock? What kind of rule is he talking
It's
about?
not a hotel.
What is it?
It's a spiritual community. It's like staying in a monastery.
Did you explain that to Mr. Aaron at the time he booked this room?
Mr. Aaron was referred to us by a friend of ours who refers a lot of people to us. The friend, when he was making some protest, he said, nobody told me this, nobody. I said, wait a minute. Charles, did you refer Michael Aaron here? He said, yes. I said, did you tell him where you're sending him? He said, yes. I said, he says, whenever I send anybody, because this is a very unusual place that we have, it's not an ordinary hotel. Charles said, this is exactly what I tell everybody that I send there, Audie.
Well, that would be hearsay coming from you, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Aaron.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think that you're a trustworthy guy. Were you told what kind of a place you were going to when you made this reservation, sir?
Your Honor, the only thing I was told that it was, they had breakfast in the mornings, it was around $100 a night, and there was no smoking. Those are the rules, and those are the circumstances that I was told about.
Did anybody tell you that this was a spiritual community?
No, Your Honor. If I was told that, I wouldn't have been at the hotel. It's simple as that.
Mr. Parushada.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, I would say to you, if you ran a hotel, and if Mr. Aaron came to your hotel,
right,
checked in, didn't like his room, and left, I would say, he is forfeited. You know, that night, he did in fact check in. But I believe that he was not told what kind of arrangement this was. And if he was not forewarned as to what kind of an arrangement this was, he should be entitled to his money back. And that was $95?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to enter a judgment in your behalf in the amount of $95. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
When he came to the hotel, it's not really a hotel, it's a monastic guest room, I had like an intuition.
He offered me a cup of tea and to sit down and have a talk, but all I wanted was my money back.
This was somebody I might be able to offer a little advice to.
Go check out the room before you pay the money.
Hare Krishna.
Delivery driver Heidi Eckert and her estranged husband, phlebotomist Salvatore Procopio, are suing their former housemate, construction worker Michael Marcus, for unpaid rent, unauthorized use of an ATM card, and an assault.
Order. All rise. The answer is case number 155 on the calendar in the matter of Eckert Procopio versus Marcus. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
You are Miss Eckert?
Yes.
Miss Eckert, it is your claim that the defendant owes you for some rent, some other bills from taking money out of your ATM account, and Mr. Procopio?
That's correct.
It's your claim that Mr. Marcus assaulted you. You want to be compensated. Tell me, how do you know him, Miss Eckert, and when you moved in together, and what was the rent arrangement?
I met him last July, and we just became friends, and he had a 5-year-old son, and I had a 6-year-old son, and he was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I was living in a 3-bedroom house, and we both couldn't afford the places that we lived in, so we decided we move in together, just as roommates, and he can take care of my son while I go to work, just take him to school in the morning, and then the rent would be $300, and if he doesn't do that, then the rent would be $400.
How much was the total rent?
$850.
And how many people were living in the house?
It was just me and my son at the time.
When did he move in?
In the middle of September.
No, that's not true.
I'll get you in a minute. When was he supposed to start to pay rent? In October?
Yeah.
Did he pay October's rent?
No.
When did he move out?
Middle of May.
That's not true either.
From October until May, did he pay rent?
No.
Never?
No.
So why did you let him stay?
Because he always said he's getting a job. Every month I ask him, are you going to come up with some money? He was supposed to get food stamps too, you know, from the welfare. And every month he came up with a new story. One time he said he's going to sell his motorcycle, and I didn't want him to do that. And then he had a job at one time.
Yeah.
For a day, and then he lost that job.
Not true.
Do you think I'm going to give you a chance, sir?
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Then I want you to try to contain yourself. So he didn't pay you any money from October until May?
No.
So let's deal with the rent first. Now, Mr. Marcus, look who's having a turn. When did you move in according to your calendar, sir?
It was the middle of October.
Okay.
Actually, almost towards the end of October when I come back from Mexico.
So according to you, you should have started to pay rent.
First of November.
Thank you for anticipating. Did you pay rent?
No, not at the first. No, I didn't.
Why not?
Well, because I didn't have the money at that time.
What were you doing in Mexico?
I was helping a friend move his family down there.
Explain that to me.
It was just another friend of mine who needed assistance driving his family to Mexico. He asked me to help him.
You're making me very nervous, sir. Could you speak without moving so much?
Well, he asked me to help him move his family to Mexico. I did so. I was down there for a month.
So you weren't working at the time?
No.
So, and you were free?
I was taking care of my son. He was under medical conditions, so.
What kind of medical condition?
He was mauled by dogs, so he needed intensive care 24/7.
How old is he?
He is now 6. At the time, he was 5.
So you took your son who needed full-time medical care down to Mexico
No,
for
I
a
didn't.
month?
I left him with his grandmother.
The name of the friend who you helped move to Mexico?
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, Mario. That's all I know.
Mr. Marcus, you see anything written here, sir?
No, ma'am.
Dumb, stupid.
No, I'm not saying that.
Do you think that I think that you were going down to move somebody whose name you don't even know, and you stayed with them for a month and you don't know their last name?
No, I don't. Actually, I couldn't even pronounce it if I did.
All right, Mr. Marcus. So November you didn't pay any rent. What about December?
Yes, I did give her some money. I did give her some cash.
Good. How much did you give her, sir?
I believe it was $150.
And in January?
I think it was another $100, $150.
February?
Not believe February, no.
March?
No, that's when we started getting eviction notices, so she didn't pay either. It was pretty much everybody disbanded the house and off we went.
April?
No, nobody was there in April.
When did you move out?
March.
So according to you, sir, for the entire time you were there, you gave her a total of $250.
Well,
that's what you just told me.
Well, partial, yes.
That's what you just told me.
Yes, I understand that. Partial.
That's what you just told me.
That's cash, yes. I bought all the food for the house.
Food?
Yes, food. Well, she then proceeded to move Sal in.
I'm not there yet. Ms. Eckert, okay. I want you to tell me about this ATM card. I read your papers, and I don't think that you can prove it to me, but I'll listen to you anyway because I'm always trying to be fair.
Well, I got my paycheck and I deposited, and my bank account was way overdrawn, and I was like, there's something wrong. So I got a statement from the bank, a printout, and I noticed that there was some stuff on there that was charged on my debit card that wasn't made by me, and there was a 1-800 number next to it. So I called it, and I got to find out it was a...
She gave me the credit card.
Oh. Go.
It was a porn website.
That's not what it was.
Yes.
That's what the guy said on the phone.
That's not what it was.
Okay. What makes you think it was Mr. Marcus who used your debit card?
Because the guy on the phone asked me what my email address is, and I said I don't have an email address. He asked me if I got a computer in my house,
That's not
and
true
I
that
said
she did.
I want you to be quiet until I look in your direction.
And he asked me if I know somebody by the name of Michael Marcus, and I said, yes, that's my roommate. And he said, that's the person who got the charge there on my debit.
And what was the charge?
You want to take a look at this?
Sure.
And because of that, my bank account got totally overdrawn, so I got all those overdraft charges on there too.
Just tell me how much it was.
But all combined with the overdraft charges,
No,
about
forget the
$200.
overdraft charges. Just what you allege he charged.
About $100.
Now we're ready to go to you, sir. I want you to tell me about this assault. When did it take place?
12th of April.
You have a police report?
No, I did not call the police. I was going to pretty much let the whole issue go until my wife was and him were going to go to court.
Mr. Marcus, do you think you're helping yourself, sir?
No, ma'am. I just want the truth.
Well, then wait your turn, and how are you related to him?
Can I speak?
No! I asked you a question. I said, how are you related to him?
I'm a witness.
How are you related to him?
We have a child together.
My condolences.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your actions today, being a wise guy and a smart mouth.
But I'm not.
But you are.
But you haven't even heard my side of this whole assault thing.
But you're not paying attention to me.
I am
You're
paying
as
attention.
dumb and as thick as this wood.
And later today,
He calls me and said he's in jail to bail him out of jail.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I said,
Mr. Reyes, Mr. Reyes, could you wait until I look at you and ask you questions, please? Oh, look at me. Could you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy, Heidi Eckert, and her estranged husband, Salvatore Procopio, are suing former housemate Michael Marcus for unpaid rent. Salvatore claims soon after filing the case, Michael beat him up.
Now, 12th of April.
Correct. After the eviction notice came, we were supposed to be out the first of the month. Heidi,
First of what?
April, I believe.
First of April.
Yeah.
Why were you being evicted?
Due to unpaid rent.
When was the last time you paid rent?
I never paid any rent.
When was the last time you paid rent?
My last in February.
In February?
As far as the credit card is concerned.
Let's talk about the credit card.
Oh, well, it was handed to me. She knew all about
I'm
it.
not talking about the credit card now.
Well, we need to address it.
If I need to address it, I'll address it. Now, get back to the date of the assault.
Mr. Marcus came into the kitchen first thing in the morning and was upset about the whole lawsuit. Heidi had already, processed a claim to sue him in small claims. He was adamant that I was the one that put her up to it. And
When did you move into the house, sir?
middle of November.
November.
Probably within the first 30 days of Mr. Marcus moving in.
So you moved in after Mr. Marcus moved
I lived there prior. I moved out.
You moved
back
in after Mr.
Yes.
Marcus moved in?
Yes.
After her arrangement with Mr. Marcus?
Correct.
Did you pay rent?
No.
Why not?
I was unemployed at the time.
That's not his problem.
Yeah, I stayed in the room with my estranged wife. I slept on a couch sometimes.
At any time, did either you or Miss Eckert receive public assistance?
No.
Not me.
What about you?
No.
So how are you supporting yourself, Mr. Procopio?
Me and everybody else was supporting him.
With the help of friends.
Was I looking at you?
Well,
Was I looking at you?
That's who was supporting him. Everybody else in the house.
Right now he's preparing to tell me about the fact that you punched him while sitting in the kitchen.
No,
A fact
he was
that you acknowledge. Your defense to that, sir, is that you were afraid that he was going to assault you with a knife he was holding.
Yes.
Your actions today in dealing with me suggest that you're so dumb that you don't recognize that if you maintain a different kind of demeanor, I might believe the fact that you were in fear of your life and therefore responded by assaulting him, by punching him.
Well, if you hear my story, I'll tell you.
However, your actions today, being a wise guy and a smart mouth.
But I'm not.
But you are.
But you haven't even heard my side of this whole assault thing.
But you're not paying attention to me.
I am
You're
paying
as
attention.
dumb and as thick as this wood. Because if you listened to me, you would understand that if you were quiet and respectful of where you are
Then I get
and
shut out.
understand where you are, you see how we're addressing each other and you see how quiet they are? because at this point I'm looking in your direction. You have no self-control. You can't control yourself.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy, Heidi Eckert, and her estranged husband, Salvatore Procopio, are suing former housemate Michael Marcus for unpaid rent. Salvatore claims soon after filing the case, Michael beat him up.
Tell me about the assault, sir. You were in the kitchen, he came in, he was angry because you filed the small claims case, and he did what to you?
He smacked me upside my face.
How did he do that? With an open hand or a closed hand?
It was closed hand and an open hand. There was two of them in which I got out of the house.
Okay.
And I left.
And
I wasn't, you know, I wasn't.
My mouth is moving.
Excuse me.
When he hit you, did you have any injury?
I had a cut on the inside of my mouth.
Okay, so you had no serious injury?
No, none at all.
And you did not respond in kind by hitting him back
No.
because... Okay. Did you, in fact, have a knife in your hand?
I was doing the dishes. At the time, we weren't sitting in the kitchen. I was standing at
You
the
were
sink.
standing. And Mr. Marcus, at no time did he hit you, is that right?
No, he did not.
Stop! And you walked into the kitchen, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
The fact that Mr. Procopio was not seriously injured, or was not really injured at all, does not mean that you get a free whack. So that slap upside his head and little cut on the inside is going to cost you $500, Mr. Marcus. So far, I am eliminating these charges from here because everything that you told me, Ms. Eckert, with regard to the person that you called, at your ATM card, is hearsay. However, I am persuaded that Mr. Marcus owes you for rent. So, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's fine. I mean, we always got along. I'm kind of bummed that it came to this.
He owes me money. And at this time, I'm not going to let it go.
He doesn't deserve a dime.
I wish everybody well. I wish it didn't all have to come to this.
I have no hard feelings against Heidi. As far as he's concerned, he's a chump.
26-year-old graduate student Walt Whitley is suing his ex-girlfriend, 24-year-old student Sarah Clough, for a balance transfer to his credit card. Sarah is countersuing for the return of a PlayStation 2.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 57 on the calendar in the matter of Whitley versus Clough. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat. You're welcome.
Mr. Whitley, according to what I've read, you and the defendant were boyfriend and girlfriend, and there came a time when you suggested to her that she consolidate all of her credit cards into one loan.
Correct.
You did a consolidation loan for her,
Correct. It was from her Wells Fargo loan to my credit card.
and it was your understanding that she was going to repay that loan.
That's correct.
Why did you make that consolidation loan?
Well, the reason why we did that, we often talked about getting engaged and then soon to become married. And so she has an expensive car, and then she also had a high interest loan with Wells Fargo.
What was the interest in her account with Wells Fargo?
It was about 24%. And I was offered a balance transfer at 4.9%. So we talked about the best way for her to reduce her debt, because I'm a student right now. I have plenty of my own debt, so we were trying to take care of hers. And so we verbally agreed that I was going to help her out, and she'd make me payments for $250 a month until it was paid off.
What was the amount that you transferred onto your credit card?
There were two loans. One was for $274, and the other one was for $1,773. There were two separate Wells Fargo accounts.
Did you have two separate Wells Fargo accounts?
That is correct.
Okay.
In addition to that, she really didn't have enough money, or she had money, but she didn't have extra money. And so what I did is I put her as a signer on the account for emergency expenses. And the emergency expenses that I have shown here is for coffee.
Well, that was stupid of you, sir. Don't get me involved with that.
Okay.
Now, did she make any payments?
Yes, she did, Your Honor. I have two copies of two checks that
Let
she
me
wrote
see
to
them, please.
And I also have the deposit, my statements from my accounts.
So she made two payments, $275.
Correct.
I made 3 payments, Your Honor, and they were not for the credit card. They were to help him out.
Your Honor, you can see one of those.
Just a second. You made 3 payments.
That is correct.
Okay. One for $275, one for $250.
And check number 1106 in the amount of $330, which posted my account on September 3rd of 2001.
$330.
And you gave that money to him for what reason, Miss Clow?
I flew to Hawaii for his birthday. Those payments were a reimbursement for me going. Since it was his birthday, I was going to pay for my plane ticket out there and for the hotel. We also stayed in Kauai.
Which I paid for.
Which I paid him back for.
Just a minute. No. I don't buy that story. But I'll listen to the rest of your tale. Go ahead. I'll listen to the rest.
Okay, first of all, there was no verbal agreement made. He did this of his own free will. I was not in financial need. I was never late or behind on those payments. My car payment being expensive is irrelevant. Living at home, I did not have many expenses, as he is saying. I had the one expense of Wells Fargo and my car payment. And living at home, I had no rent.
What did you give him your account numbers for?
Because he wanted them.
What do you mean because he wanted them?
Well, first of all, we were dating.
My mouth is still moving. I don't understand because he wanted them. You say a lot of things in a relationship. You say you look great, your hair never looked better, where do you want to go for dinner? But not give me your credit card account number, babe.
Can I explain?
Yeah. Explain it to me so that I understand it.
Okay. The reason that I gave him the credit card is because he suggested to me that he would pay that balance. There was no agreement that I would pay him back.
Oh, so now, just a minute, you're changing the story. So you're saying now your defense is, so what I understand it, Miss Clow, is that he paid off your credit cards as a gift to you.
That's how I perceived it, Your Honor.
Just a second. That's what your defense is now. It wasn't before, but now that is your defense, that it was a gift to you.
Yes, and I...
Good! No, wrong. Wrong. I don't buy that for a minute.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Walt Whitley says ex-girlfriend Sarah Clow transferred a balance to his credit card and now refuses to pay.
Now, you have a counterclaim, let's get to it, for a return of your PlayStation and games.
That is correct.
Why don't you tell me what the counterclaim is about?
I purchased the PlayStation on December 5th of 2001 for myself and him to share. He refused to return it after we broke up. Since I never lived at his residence and that's where the thing was, I could not go in and get it.
Now I'll hear you. PlayStation and games.
Well, I was in Hawaii for my rotations, and I was going back to Reno for Christmas. Sarah met me in Reno, and so she spent Christmas with me. She gave me the PlayStation for Christmas as a Christmas gift. I have a card here dated 12/4/01 saying, I hope you will get something in Reno that you really like. And so you can ask her what she got me for Christmas then.
Well, she got you something and put it in your house. She got something, and the PlayStation was put in your house in December, is that right?
That's in Reno, and I took it back up to Portland, where I live.
Okay. And when did you finally break up?
The third week in January, Your Honor.
Okay, and between December 5th, when you bought this PlayStation, that's when you said you bought it, right?
I have the receipt to prove it right here.
I don't doubt that you bought it.
Okay.
Between December 5th and mid-January, the PlayStation remained with the plaintiff, is that right?
But I was staying the night at his house, so it was in my possession, but I did not live there.
Mr. Whitley, I want to tell you something. I think you should get down on your knees and look up and thank God that you got out when you did. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your counterclaim is dismissed, Miss Clow. I find that the PlayStation was a gift and judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,633. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Walter Whitley appears to be kind and generous in the things that he says and does, but if things don't go his way, as in my relationship with him, he'll turn around and stab you in the back.
Don't ever share credit cards or help someone out unless you sign the dotted line and you get married.
Jeremy DeTorres is suing his former employer, Chad Young, for unpaid wages and filing a false restraining order.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Case 2140, DeTorres versus Young.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. DeTorres, according to your complaint, you did some work for the defendant as a plumber. Didn't work out, and he terminated you, and he owes you some wages.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that while your work in the beginning was okay, you were never an employee of his. You're an independent contractor. That's the way he sets it up, and he's going to explain that to me. That he paid you your wages even though the last job that you did cost him an awful lot to repair. He was not happy with the quality of work that you did, and his counterclaim is for vandalism, something that happened with his truck, work hours, lost due to your incompetence. That I'm not going to hear, sir. You know, you make a choice with an employee, and If it turns out to be something that is less than satisfactory, then you let them go. But the one who I assume suffered from what you call lack of quality work that he performed was the person that you were working for. Was that a private residence that he was doing work in?
Yes. Yeah, a bunch of private residents.
Yeah, that's the person who suffered.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're going to make this as easy as possible. From what days to what days did you work?
I worked for Chad from June 13th to August 3rd.
And how much were you supposed to be paid?
For those 3 days, $840.
And that's for 3 days' work?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you say June 13th
Yes, ma'am.
to August 3rd?
Correct.
Well, that's more than 3 days.
No, his wage he owes me from August 1st to August 3rd is what he did not pay me for.
Okay, and where did you work during those days?
Multiple residents.
Okay, do you have any sort of a call log from him?
I do. It's right here in my
Do you dispute that he worked from August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd?
Yes.
You dispute that
There was one day he actually did one of my jobs for a couple hours that day.
Doesn't matter. He has a log.
Half a day for one day.
Did you pay him for that half day?
I did not because the job was done incorrectly multiple times.
But he did that job. Okay, now, do you have a log?
As in?
It's some sort of a work log. You have a business. You have people who are general contractors. You get a call. You don't have a payroll because you pay these people independently. Do you pay them in cash or check?
Both.
Well, how did you pay him?
Sometimes it was through a cashier's check and sometimes it was cash.
Okay, but never through a company check where you deducted Social Security.
No, because I 1099 all my employees, so they're all self-employed, so they have to do all that on their own.
I do understand. I mean, you're not the inventor of this whole system, sir, of paying in cash. Okay. Are you one of those independent contractors?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up. How long have you been an independent contractor?
I've been contracted with Chad since July 5th.
Of what year?
This year, 2022.
Oh, so short term.
Yes, ma'am.
Does he pay you in check or cash? No, look at me.
Check it first, and then later on it became through Venmo, and then it's gone back to check now.
What kind of check?
Cashier's check.
Just a straight cashier's check with nothing taken out?
No, ma'am.
No, I go to my bank to get all that.
What?
I go to my bank to get the cashier's checks, and sometimes I Venmo him the payment too, just to pay.
I understand, but sir, you're not the first person who I know who pays their people in cash and says that you're independent contractors. You're independent contractors. I don't want to know about it. What name do you use for the cashier's checks?
My personal name.
Is this the first time you've worked for him?
Yes.
Okay, let me see what you have for August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Where did you work? Come on.
There were multiple residents, ma'am.
Well, you have to tell me so that he can answer. He says that you worked half a day that he didn't pay you for.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's say that's a full day. So that's $200.
Okay. See, he would email it on his work phone, and I'd follow the addresses there.
Well, then you would have it on your phone.
My short notes
Just
on
a
this.
second. Then you would have it on your phone.
It was his company phone. He took it back when he came to my house unannounced and told me that I was fired. Redeemed his truck. Got my tools out of his vehicle.
Okay, just a second. Do you have your phone?
I do. I have my personal one that I.
What about the phone that you took from him?
No, that one's actually broke, so it's been with him for the past week.
Let me see the notes that you have that you took.
Yes, ma'am.
Fascinating.
It's my shorthand, ma'am.
How do I know what dates these are for?
It was all on his phone, ma'am.
Well, that's not him to have to prove, sir.
I wasn't able to prove anything when he took his phone back. I just had that's the notes when I was employed for him as I wrote down.
It's not helpful to me.
Yes, ma'am.
So far, the only thing that he's acknowledged is that he owes you a day's wages.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is $210. The other part of your complaint is a false restraining order against you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you file a restraining order against him? Do you have a copy of what you wrote in your restraining order?
I do.
I'd like to see it.
So what got me that restraining order is he called, made threats, and made
Was
threats.
this after you fired him?
It was.
Okay, so after you fired him, he called you.
Made threats.
Well, what did he say when he called you?
Just basically talking about I'm going to come to your house and everything.
He wanted money.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
He said, you didn't pay me.
Yeah.
Okay. You say you got a text message and voicemail from Jeremy threatening to come to my place of residence.
Yes.
Can I hear it?
Yeah. Do you want me to play it, or do you want to look at it?
I want to look at it.
Okay.
So, Mr. Torres, did you, after he fired you and came to your residence, took your house, did you call him threatening to come to his house?
I did.
You did?
With the police. It says it on these text messages, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to take his phone and those text messages.
There's more text. That's just the one where he said he'd send me my money.
That's the voicemail, if you want me to play it for you. Sometimes the transcription doesn't work.
Yeah.
You want me to play it?
Just.
Hey, bro. I definitely worked more than 9 hours for the last week that I worked for you. I'll be contacting my... Play with me. I'll show up at your house.
Yeah, that's a threat.
With the police.
Just a second. That's a threat.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I've had more.
That's a threat.
I
Just
had
a
more incidents before that as well.
May I say something, ma'am? He accused me of going into his gated community, slashing tires on his work vehicle. I stated that I was going to come to his house after, if you read my text, I said to him, hey, bro, I think I misunderstood your text message. If I did, my bad. If not, I'll show up at your house with the police. I never went to his house. I waited to see if he'd be the big man and just send me my money like he said he would.
I listened to the message, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
The message sounded threatening.
Did you read the rest of them?
I don't care. That message sounded threatening. Where does it say here that his tires were slashed?
In my mind, somebody writing that against me, flattened tires, what else would it be?
But you have to understand that that's not what this says.
And later today,
I was financially struggling.
Well, you weren't living together at the time.
No, she would periodically come over and
yeah, but
stay at
you
my
weren't living together at the time. So how would she find out that you were in financial trouble?
Jeremy DeTorres claims his former employer, Chad Young, owes for unpaid wages and filing a false restraining order.
Okay, that message alone, if he felt threatened because you were going to come to his house, and you not only said you were going to come to his house, but you used an expletive before you did that, which sounded threatening. This may be more benign, but that phone message was sufficient for him to file for a protective order against you.
Okay, why didn't he show up at the protective custody order?
I don't answer your questions.
No,
you don't necessarily.
Absolutely.
Some people don't pursue it because once it's done, it's done.
It wasn't done.
And once it's
This
done,
is the dismissal right here. Dismissal for the
No, I didn't show up. I understand he didn't show up, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm saying to you, I listened to your text message, and he had an absolute right to see.
Can you see where he threatened me as well with all these back and forth texts and calling each other? Because it's in the text
You're
messages.
suing him for money owed for wages and filing a false restraining order.
Okay.
You've proven that you worked an additional day for which he didn't pay you, which is $210. He has a counterclaim. Yep. He says that you vandalized the tires on his car. The rest of it, I'm not dealing with, sir. You picked this employee. You don't then sue the employee if you don't like the job that they do. You fire them and you get somebody else to do the job. But you can't sue him because did the person who you did the job for sue you?
No, because I've got a really good reputation with my customers.
Because you fixed it. Because it wasn't done right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even up to that last day I said he worked for me, that job I had to go back to 2 weeks ago. That they couldn't close on the house.
The next time you won't hire him. Yeah. Maybe other people won't either. But I want you to tell me about the tires. I want you to tell me what proof do you have that he had anything to do with your tires? When were the tires slashed, flattened?
So the police report was done Friday when he made the threats.
Friday. What's the date?
I got the date right here. I think it was
August 5th.
Yeah, so August 5th is when he did it.
August 5th is when
the police report was made for the threats.
For the threat, for the voicemail?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so it was the end of the day Friday, so court's closed for the weekend.
August 5th.
Yep. And then Monday, the 8th, I went outside to go to work. My tires were slashed in the end. At that point, I realized it was just over and done, and I need to go down and get a restraining order so people can't come onto my, my property.
Because
area.
you believed it was the plaintiff who was responsible. You believed you didn't have proof at the time.
Yes.
You didn't have proof.
Again, and even in my injunction, I knew all I needed was this police report to get the injunction, so I just put in my police report.
You're
that
not
my
talking
tires
about
were
an
flat.
injunction. You're talking about a restraining order.
Yeah, the restraining order. Yeah,
Okay.
so I
It
went
was
and filed the
injunction.
restraining. So in my restraining order, I put just my tires were flat. I did not put my tires were slashed at any point because I knew the police report was enough to get the restraining order.
Okay, your
so I didn't
tires
go
were
in
flat.
detail about my tires.
Okay, so in the police report, you have that your tires were flattened.
No, that wasn't on the police report because that didn't happen yet. The tire incident did not happen.
Okay.
That happened Friday. Monday morning, I went out in my vehicle to go to work. That's when I found them flat and slashed.
Did you file another police report?
That's when I went and filed the restraining order that day. And I have
Okay,
a
and in
copy
the
of that
application for restraining order, you said?
that my tires were flat, and that was it.
Yes, okay.
I didn't mention that they were slashed.
Correct.
So I don't know how he would
Got
know
it.
my tires were slashed if I didn't mention it on my restraining order.
I don't know. That's an interesting question. Mr. DeTorres. Mr. DeTorres, stop your paper fluttering.
Okay.
What made you think that the defendant's tires were slashed rather than just the air let out of them?
Because I read this police report and it has a mark right here saying, or the file
Show me.
that he did.
Show me. And make a
Right
circle.
here, damaged property is what I read. He checked that I damaged his property because this
Yeah.
is written against me.
Mr. DeTorres, do you understand my question, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm nervous in the
Just a
flight.
second.
I
This
had no
has
sleep.
nothing to do with nerves,
You're
Mr.
right.
DeTorres.
Well, I had no sleep last night.
That has nothing to do with sleep.
As far as not being...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
What I'm asking you, Mr. DeTorres, is where does it say here that his tires were slashed?
In my mind, somebody writing that against me, flattened tires, what else would it be? He lives in a gated community.
Well, that could
Where's
be
the
what
surveillance
could it-
showing me that,
what-
that my leg injury, the way I walk, is very distinctive? Okay? If he's got proof that I slashed or flattened his tires, I said slashed. It's the same thing as flattened in my mind. That's the way I think. The way I read that, that's just how it came out of my mouth.
But you have to understand that that's not what this says.
Okay? It says that I damaged his
He
property.
said damaged his property, and you said slashed tires.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
How much were the tires?
$450.
Let me see the receipt.
I do not have a receipt because I pay cash for my tires.
Well, that's too bad. You better stop paying cash, sir. You can pay cash for tires.
Yeah.
But when you buy tires with cash and you want to sue for them, you get a receipt.
Yeah.
From the people, and if you know you're coming to court, we're not talking about things that happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You were coming to court today.
I went back to the tire shop and he's like, we always do cash for all your vehicles. And
Well, what's the
receipts, no
cash
nothing.
for all your vehicles? That means you get a receipt. All right, your counterclaim's dismissed because you have no proof of anything. On the complaint, sir, I'm awarding you $210, which is 1 day's pay. Thank you very much. This case is over.
This court is adjourned.
The work just wasn't up to the quality that he promised he was going to offer.
It is what it is.
That's just his nature. That's always been his nature.
The judgment is what the judgment is. She felt like I was only awarded a day's pay, and that's what she gave me.
Keep doing what I do. That's all I can do every day.
Well, Sarah Rose, that is the perfect example of you're supposed to have proof when you come to court.
Yep. Standard of proof exists for a reason.
You know, I know that when I go someplace, and sometimes I pay cash. So even if you pay cash for something,
There's some
or Venmo,
record. Venmo
you're
gives you the
supposed to
record.
get a receipt in the event that you want to use whatever you bought and use that fact that you purchased something in a subsequent lawsuit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as sending a gift. If you send somebody a gift, you keep the receipt until you know that they got the gift. Then you take it and you throw it away. It's just
It's good bookkeeping. It's good record keeping. I
And
think.
he's a business guy.
Yeah.
He's a business guy. Didn't make sense to me, but clearly plaintiff is somebody who has.
Isaac Uno is suing his former tenants, Ann V. Kelly and Kevin Jackson, for unpaid rent and property damage.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Hello, Judge. Case number 2116, Uno versus Kelly Jackson.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. Uno, you purchased a duplex home, 2 different apartments.
That's correct.
In what month and year did you purchase the home?
November of 2020.
And when you purchased it, one of the duplexes was occupied by the defendants.
That's correct.
It is your claim that they owe you for rent
Yes.
and for property damage.
That's correct.
They are no longer there.
No.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
How long were you and your wife living in the duplex before November of 2020?
We moved in June of 2019.
And at the time, do you recall who your landlord was in June of 2019?
Yes.
Between June of 2019, when you first moved in, and November of 2020, when the plaintiff bought the property, was there any work done on that property?
Not at all.
No maintenance?
No maintenance.
Okay. So from the time you moved in, the prior owner did no maintenance on that property, did no painting?
Just the minor stuff before we moved in. They just painted and just had everything looking nice, the floors.
So just a second. So the prior owner painted the premises and did the floors?
Yes, it was carpet and some flooring in the kitchen.
And Mr. Uno did not do any other painting or flooring or any cosmetic work on the duplex when he purchased it in November of 2020.
No.
So whatever was there by the previous owner of the property is still there.
Yes.
I'm just asking you this because your counterclaim is for child endangerment, and the child endangerment is because of lead paint. That's what you write here.
Yes.
He didn't put in the lead paint, right?
Yes, thinking about that.
He didn't paint it. You don't know when it was painted. Maybe it was painted by the prior owner. How do you know? By the way, do you have medical records of the child that you claim has lead poisoning?
Yes.
I'd like to see them. Yes, you. I have no idea what this says.
That's the piece of paper that he gave me from the hospital.
Well, I don't understand.
For the blood work.
I'm not a doctor, so I can't.
Okay.
We have something from the health department also stating that because my son his lead was found in his system, they got involved.
I understand that. He did not paint the apartment.
No, ma'am.
When you, just for my own curiosity, when you bought this place, do you remember the purchase of it? And when you purchase a property, usually there's an inspection.
Yes.
And one of the questions usually has to do with lead paint. Do you remember any of that from when you purchased the property?
I didn't receive any notification of lead paint from the inspectors.
Well, usually they sign off that there is no lead paint.
I don't remember seeing because they never mentioned anything about it.
Nothing about lead paint?
No.
Okay. Did you ever have the home tested, by the way, for lead?
Only when we found out about my son having lead.
Okay. And do you have the test result?
And there was lead found in 2 places, not just the bathtub.
Miss Kelly, the issue is he didn't do any of that painting.
Right.
He bought the place. You had been living there for a year and a half before he bought the place.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And your son was born within that year and a half.
Well, we moved there, he was 6 months.
He was 6 months old, so he lived there for a year and a half even before he purchased it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We did buy the things to fix the bathroom up. He told us to take them back to fix the tub and everything because we asked him to fix it. So the things we had, like to get the tub fixed, the flooring and everything, he told us to take back.
How many people were living in the duplex?
In our apartment?
In your apartment?
4.
4. Including the baby?
Yes, ma'am.
Including the baby. And how old's the other child?
She's 14.
Okay. Do you have that report?
No, this is just stating where it was at.
The health department?
Yes, I thought that piece of paper that I gave you was that one.
No.
This is just
doesn't say
This is just showing where the lead was found in the house.
How old is this duplex?
It was built in 1906, so almost 115 years or so.
Yeah. And they certainly used lead paint
Possibly,
then.
yeah, I'm not sure about
I'm
it.
not sure.
I don't
But-
understand about it.
Miss Kelly, Mr. Jackson, that's not his fault. Not his fault. So now I would like to know, Mr. Uno is suing you for rent. And I'd like to know first, how much rent were you paying?
$750.
And that's what you were paying under the old lease?
Yes.
And were you current on your rent when Mr. Uno took over the property?
Yes.
In November of 2020?
Yes.
So far correct?
That's accurate.
When did you stop paying rent?
December of 2021.
So you paid rent for a year?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you working, Mr. Jackson?
Yes, when I first moved in, yes, I was working 2 jobs.
And were you working from November of 2020 to December of 2021?
Yes, I was. It was.
For whom?
Yes, I was. I was working for TGI Fridays.
And Miss Kelly, were you working?
No, ma'am, I'm disabled.
And how much were you receiving in pay?
I was only getting.
If you have to think about it, you don't remember.
Yeah, I wasn't getting too much because it was during COVID, and I was working at a restaurant, and I was only allowed to work 3 days out of the week.
Okay. And what happened in December of 2021?
What happened was he already sent us a letter previously saying that he wanted to go up on the rent to a.
Okay.
Yes. To
So you had
$1,000.
no lease anymore, and he wanted to raise the rent.
Mhm.
Okay. I believe you. And that was the reason that you used to try to evict them before.
Yes, that was the first one, but I don't agree with his statement.
Well, what statement don't you agree with?
Isaac Uno claims his former tenants, Ann V. Kelly and Kevin Jackson, owe for unpaid rent and property damage. Ann V. and Kevin are countersuing for child endangerment and a constructive eviction.
And in what month was that?
He sent it to us, I want to say.
Do you remember, Mr. Uno?
It was 90 days before the 1st of December, so that would have been, I think, September 31st or October 31st for me.
That he was raising the rent to what?
To $1,000 a month.
Effective December.
Yes, December 1st.
And what happened in December?
We were at that time looking for a new apartment, and at that time it was hard because around that time a lot of the rent was going up from just being like $800, $900 to like $1,200 to $1,400 for rent for for a month there.
Don't speak.
Okay.
And that was why we stopped paying rent, because we were actually looking for a house. Even when he gave us the 90 days.
Okay. So, Mr. Jackson, based upon what you just told me, so stop shaking your head, based upon what you told me, your landlord gave you 90 days notice that if you wish to stay on, he was raising your rent to $1,000 a month.
Yes.
And you started to look around for a new place.
Yes.
And the new places were very expensive.
Yes.
And you didn't find a place.
No.
So you decided to stay in this place.
No.
So what did you do?
We.
So if you didn't find a place
we decided
in December,
we were trying to stay there until we found a place.
I assume they paid rent in September.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
In October?
Yes.
Yes.
They paid rent in October.
Yes.
Good. And November?
November was the last month that they paid.
So they paid in November.
Yes.
So you stopped paying rent in December of 2021.
Yes.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
If I need you, I'll come to you.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Okay.
Because so far he's doing fine. You stopped paying rent in December of 2021. Tell me why.
We didn't want to live there ourselves anymore either, but it was just a lot of things going on at the house. Like after my father passed away, and he first gave us the first eviction notice, because he gave us more than one.
Just a second.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're skipping over.
Okay.
He didn't give you an eviction notice, I assume, until you stopped paying rent.
No, before December, he gave us like 3 of them. I think I want to say 3.
Really?
Yes.
Why were you trying to evict them before?
They had torn up the carpet upstairs. It was a moratorium for evictions, but there was a stipulation that emergency evictions for nuisance tenants could be granted before then.
Is there any reason why you took up the carpets?
Yes, the same thing. Before he took over, everything was in the house before that, and we complained to the previous owner that the carpet was already dirty. They said that they were going to come and shampoo it, but never did. Like, we would walk and our socks would be black, our feet would be black, so we wanted to take the carpet up. It was dirty to us. And I myself actually told him about it. I went downstairs to his apartment because he lived downstairs from us, talked to him about it. He came upstairs and I showed him a section of the carpet that wasn't even connected to the floor. You can lift up the whole carpet and like across a whole section of the wall. And then when I did that, he seen that the hardwood looked kind of decent. And then instead of putting new carpet on, he wanted the hardwood to get sanded down and just get stained and and lacquered over.
So you took the carpet off?
Yes.
I believe you. Sounds right, Mr. Okay. And that was the reason that you used to try to evict them before?
Yes, that was the first one. But I don't agree with his statement.
Well, what statement don't you agree with?
Well, a number of things that he said. I didn't authorize him. We spoke. I asked him in the first meeting if there was anything that they wanted to have spruced up or anything as a good gesture, and they took it upon themselves to take up the carpet without my permission.
Okay, not a huge deal. not a huge deal. You can use it as a huge deal if you want your tenants out because you know you can re-rent that duplex for substantially more money.
It was more about their conduct, that they were being very disturbing behavior and just being off the wall. So I wanted them out for a lot of reasons.
Well, I know, but only one of them qualified under the eviction moratorium.
Yes, for emergency of dismantling.
Only one, and that would have been the carpet. Okay, Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
I'm back to you, sir. I haven't figured out yet. You stopped paying rent in December, and you moved out in what month?
We didn't move out until June.
June. So January, February, March, April, and May. Let's say 5 months' rent that you didn't pay, correct?
Yes.
Why?
Can I speak, Your Honor?
No, Kim. Tell me why you didn't pay the 5 months' rent, Mr. Jackson.
We just figured that, we didn't figure. We didn't want to pay him $1,000 because to us,
Okay, so
we felt
let's
that-
say you didn't want to pay him $1,000, even though you just told me finding another place would be more expensive, right? You said $1,200, $1,400, but you didn't give him $750. You gave him $0 for those 5 months. So I'm going to come back to you, Mr. Jackson. Does your wife receive disability payments because of her disability?
Yes.
Yes. How much a month?
That I don't know.
How much a month do you receive, Ms. Kelly?
$1,000.
$1,000. And did you continue to receive that $1,000 every month from December until June?
Yes, ma'am.
You see, certain things remain constant. Your disability payments remain constant. If you live in an apartment and you have the same sort of income, then you pay rent.
Right.
And if you didn't pay $1,000, so I hear you. Well, that's what he said he wanted. And he's the landlord. And he's allowed to do that if you're going to stay in his premises. But you paid nothing, Mr. Jackson, and that's what I don't understand.
Well, the premise was busted.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Miss Kelly.
Sorry,
What? You paid nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Where did you move in June?
Moved in the same area, like kind of like probably 10 minutes away from that particular street.
Is it a private house or an apartment?
It's a house. It's a duplex as well.
Duplex. So the same sort of setup. And how much rent are you paying?
Pay $950.
So almost as much as he wanted in his rent. But are you more comfortable in that unit?
Yes.
Okay.
My wife walked down there and asked, was he the landlord? He just said that he was the building manager. So nobody even got rent for the month of November when we lived there, not him or even the previous people, because he didn't even come upstairs and introduce us.
Well, I wouldn't complain about that, sir, if you're...
Isaac Uno claims his tenants, Envy Kelly and Kevin Jackson, owe for unpaid rent and property damage. Envy and Kevin claim Isaac forced them to leave.
Now, you saved over 5 months, let's say, minimally $750.
$37.50.
$37.50. Now, Mr. Uno, the only question that I have to ask you is, Mr. Jackson and Miss Kelly say that they filled out some sort of forms for rent relief during COVID, and you signed it. And they say you received money from the state for any unpaid rent. Did you receive any money from the state for rent that they didn't pay?
No, I approached them with an application, but the program that funds the landlord relief for the moratorium was only open for 1 month, and I came and went and I missed it and I never got it. So I did have them fill out something. It was just a hardship thing, but they didn't give me the money for it. I never received anything.
So you didn't receive any money. So far, Miss Kelly and Mr. Jackson, you owe Mr. Uno $3,750 for rent that you didn't pay while you occupied his premises. You, your furniture, your children, I don't care what it is. That's what you didn't pay. And you can't save up your money and not pay your landlord. That's his business. Just like you work for Fridays and you get your pay when you're supposed to, that's his business. He bought a house. He was counting on the income from that house to pay some of his expenses, and you didn't pay it. Well, there's no question you have to pay it. Now you have a counterclaim. I've already gotten rid of child endangerment. This is 150 years old. Constructive eviction. So I'd like you to tell me your allegations of constructive eviction.
Is that like from him not doing anything to the apartment while we lived there?
I assume. You say you were
yes.
constructively evicted.
Yes, he.
But you didn't leave.
Yes, he has a couple of text messages in here where he says that he actually came up to the apartment to check things. He brought up when he first got there in November, we didn't have a working toilet until.
Just a second.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So before he bought it, is that what you're telling me?
I mean, not before. I'm sorry. When he got the apartment in November, the previous owners, we were trying to contact to see who we pay for rent.
Just a second.
Okay, yeah.
He bought the duplex in November of 2020.
Yeah.
Is what you're telling me, Mr. Jackson, that certain things weren't working prior to his purchasing the property?
No, I'm sorry. I want to take that back. After he purchased it, we didn't even know he purchased it because he was living downstairs, and my wife walked down there and asked, was he the landlord? And he just said that he was the building manager. So nobody even got rent for the month of November when we lived there, not him or even the previous people, because he didn't even come upstairs and introduce us.
Well,
but,
I wouldn't complain about that, sir, if you're ahead of the game so far. If you didn't pay rent for November. You didn't pay the prior landlord and you didn't pay him. So far you're ahead $750. Okay, keep going.
To go back to the November, So during November, our toilet got stopped up, like right before Thanksgiving.
So shortly after he purchased it, he hadn't been up in the apartment, right?
No, not
just
at all.
you, your wife, your teenage daughter, and the baby.
Yeah, and the kids.
Okay, and the toilet got stopped up, and
he brought in a plumber, and then the guy found out that my son put a little toy in there, and he actually got
so
the toy
the
out.
toilet was broken by your son. Okay, so now the plumber said, here's the toy. Kid threw a toy down the toilet. Not an unusual
And then the very next month in December, my son didn't put anything down there. The toilet started acting up again. It wouldn't flush for like all the way up until the next year, and it never got fixed. But it was from...
Well, you had to have... Sir, you lived there with 3 adults. So there had to be a functioning toilet in the house.
It wasn't functioning.
So where did you go to use a functioning restroom?
Her mom lived up the street from us, so sometimes we lived up the street, or sometimes we would just still use the toilet.
Okay. You owe him $3,750 for rent that you didn't pay. Counterclaims dismissed. We're finished. Thank you very much.
This court is adjourned.
I had to collect monetary judgment through the courts.
Him being the landlord, he left us like living in crappy conditions.
It was a unbearable situation that I was going through with the noise and the disturbances.
Yeah, he never came up there at all to fix anything.
And the destruction of the property.
He just started making up so many rules, to make it uncomfortable for us to live there.
Oh, it was, it's pretty quiet now.
That man is crazy. I'm glad it's over with.
You know what I think is interesting, Sarah, with these cases, we've had a lot of them. The forgiveness that the government wanted to show to people who were having trouble during COVID, work-related trouble, didn't have the same income, and didn't want to have a whole bunch of dispossessed homeless people. It came from a good place, as did some of the monies that were sent out by the government to sort of help people over a difficult time during the height of COVID. But then there are other people who suffer as a result of that, like a landlord who buys a property, a duplex property. Part of it is for income so that they can pay off mortgage, taxes, lawn service, whatever you have to pay on a house. And then the defendants, who really had no changed circumstances that they indicated to me. He was working, she was getting whatever she gets from disability, which is not insubstantial. I don't know if they get any other assistance for any of their other children, but certainly they moved into a place that's more expensive now, that's not far away. They just decided not to pay rent. And I don't think that that is the spirit of what either the federal government or the states who enacted it meant to happen, because the plaintiff owner of this property has rights too. Yeah. You've taken away a right of his.
I agree to an extent, but I also think that that's more a problem on the government's implementation of the moratorium in the first place. That's what ended up hurting the landlord. These people were simply taking advantage of a legal loophole that was created for them. He was in the restaurant business, which, as we know, was one of the toughest hit by COVID.
Right.
She was on a fixed income that wouldn't be enough to cover, well, barely enough to cover the rent on its own. And then they have to support themselves, feed themselves. They have 2 children. So I'm sympathetic towards the taking advantage of a legal loophole. So I don't know, if I was in your position, I might have decided differently.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Sherry and Jeffrey Marshall are suing their neighbors, Joseph and Jennifer Fugate, for an insurance deductible and filing a false police report.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Case number 2074, Marshall versus Fugate.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. and Mrs. Marshall, you live across the street from Mr. Fugate and his mother.
Yes.
How long have you lived in your house?
22 years.
And Mr. Fugate, how long have you lived in your house?
Your Honor, my mom has lived in the house far longer than I have. She's lived in it since 2008. I moved in 2016.
Mr. and Mrs. Marshall, this problem that I'm going to try to rectify today deals with parking space.
Yes.
And the parking space is a public parking space, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And it's on the street, and the public parking space happens to be in front of your home.
Yes, ma'am.
You live across the street.
Yes, ma'am.
And the case involves acrimony that has developed because you, Mr. Fugate, would like to keep that spot that's in front of your home free for your mother, who you say for health reasons, it would be more convenient for her to park right in front of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. and Mrs. Marshall sometimes or always park in that spot. That's what the problem is.
Yes.
Okay. And I assume you're going to speak for your husband for now?
I can, yes.
Do you want her to talk for you?
It's fine.
He learns his lessons well. Oh, that's very good. Perfect.
I can speak for myself. If she need to, she can.
Perfect. You've been living there a long time. Did you have any trouble with the Fugate family about this parking space between 2008 and 2016?
No.
So before the son moved in, you had no problem?
That's right.
Had you ever, just a second, had you ever had discussions with Mrs. Fugate about parking in that spot before he came?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Mrs. Fugate, did you understand what I said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want you to be very careful in your answer to me.
Yes, ma'am.
You've lived there for a long time.
Yes,
your son didn't move in until 2016. Before your son moved in, did you ever have any communication with Mr. and Mrs. Marshall about parking in front of your house?
Ma'am, she didn't park in front of my house before my son moved in.
Okay. So is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Can you tell me what changed after her son moved in?
Okay, where I park at is actually across the street from the Fugates. It's right by my driveway, and I park my Toyota Avalon right beside my driveway, which is the parking spot that Mr. Fugate is causing the problems over.
So it's the parking spot is in front of your house?
No, it's not in front of my house. It's beside my driveway.
But on your side of the house?
That's
on your
correct.
side of the street?
Yes.
Correct.
Do they have a parking space in front of their house on their side of the street?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever park there?
I have. When they took the parking space I usually park in, I did park across the street.
Okay. So occasionally, either Mr. Fugate, his mother, parks on your side of the street, on a public street, and you'll park in front of their house.
Correct.
Okay. I got it. Okay. So let me tell you all this. We're going to finish part of the case right now. Too bad. You can park wherever you want on a public street, because there are other visitors that come, I assume, for people who live on the block, that they take up parking spaces, and occasionally there aren't other parking spaces. You know, there's no question you would prefer to park on your side of the street, and you would prefer to park on your side of the street. If you can't, you can't. Mr. Fugate, I'm just telling you, just so that you know, you have no right to a public parking space.
Yes, I understand that, Your Honor. I'm not the one that needs to be told that, though.
You have no right to a public parking space.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you live, in what state?
Ohio, Cincinnati.
Okay, I've actually been to Cincinnati frequently, but I am certain that there is no regulation in Ohio or any city or town thereof that says, well, you sort of had first dibs on the parking space on the public street that's in front of your house. That's ridiculous.
The best that Cincinnati has, Your Honor, is a 3-day law that if the vehicle doesn't move within 3 days, then it could be towed by the city. But that's the best that they have.
You live across the street from each other. Did either of you ever call the police and say a car has been there for more than 3 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who did?
I did, Your Honor.
Why?
Because the spot in question that's directly across the street is actually, it's hindering to the entire flow of the neighborhood and where everybody parks on the street. I served 10 years Army, and I fought for people.
Listen, I don't care if you're a good person, if you're not a good person, if you're a do-gooder, if you're not a do-gooder, it's a public street. And if what you're suggesting to me is they should be nice, it's an older person and they shouldn't park in that spot, what I'm telling you is I wouldn't start up with anybody by calling the police on a car that especially a car that I knew. I know that it's my neighbor's car. They've been living there for 22 years, relatively peacefully. Relatively peaceful.
It hasn't really been peaceful, Your Honor.
You moved there.
Yes, I did.
They were living there a decade before you moved there. You.
Yes, ma'am.
If it wasn't peaceful, there are options. You're a free person. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot imagine my calling the police on a neighbor's car that was parked in the street. Well, that created problems. Okay, so I see where we're going. We're going to get to this case. Reimbursement for insurance deductible, that's one thing, because you claim that Mr. Fugate damaged your car.
Yes, ma'am.
On what date?
That was on June the 26th.
Of this year?
Of 21, I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you have any video evidence of the damage to your car?
No, ma'am. All I have is a picture.
Tell me how he damaged the car. With what did he damage the car?
Okay. He damaged the car with his hand. I'm parking the car.
You mean in front of?
In front of Mrs. Fugate's home.
So on her side of the street?
Yes, ma'am. I exit the car. Mr. Fugate is being erratic.
No, don't tell me what your perception of. Tell me what he did.
He was beating the hood of the car.
He came up to the car and was hitting the top of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll see the car and the police report. See the dent, and that's the hood of the car. Okay. Okay, this police report says Mr. Fugate told the police in his narrative that this incident occurred, there was a disagreement over the parking space, and that you struck him with the car, causing minor injury. Okay, because you have a cross complaint for that.
That is correct.
Okay. So that's a simple. June 26th, I see the car was damaged. There's no question it was damaged by somebody pounding on the hood, and I assume that was you.
Ma'am, that's wrong. I did not pound on the hood.
Well, then tell me, Mr. Fugate, how these dents occurred, just the way they look, on the hood of the car.
Your Honor, I have the 911 audio calls of the night, as well as the police report, and I also drew up a diagram where she was originally parked that explains everything. But
okay, so I'd like to see that. Okay.
Ma'am, if I could approach the diagram.
Absolutely. June 26th.
On June 26th, I was talking to my parents when the marshals came home. My car was parked right here. Okay, they came home, they blocked their own driveway and parked right up on top of my bumper.
Just a second.
Just
a second. So you, Mr. Fugate, were parked on a public street where you could park on their side of the street, not your side of the street, okay?
Yes, sir.
And they came up blocking their own driveway.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you see them? Were you in the house watching?
No, I was on my parents' porch
Okay, so now you're on your parents' porch, they're in their car, and they block their own driveway.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Not a big ordeal, right?
Not any of your business.
Right. It wasn't, like I said, wasn't a problem to me.
Wasn't any of your business.
Exactly. So
Go ahead.
anyway, I'm talking to my parents on the phone. They're just getting done working. I can hear that the marshals are upset about where I'm parked at on a public street. And I went out to save my parents' spot because I could hear her say, I'm going to teach him a lesson.
So, Mr. Fugate, now, is what you're telling me that car where you're standing in, you went out to make it so that they could not park on a public street? Is that what you're telling me? The answer is yes.
Yes.
You got off the porch to stand in the street to block them from moving in front of your house because your car was parked on their side of the street.
No, no, Your Honor. No, you got that wrong.
Is that red car yours?
The red car is mine.
It's mine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just to say, the red car is yours. Listen, I'm not a moron.
I know that.
The white car is the space that you wanted to save for your parents.
Yes, Your Honor. They were on their way home. I was talking
Who
to
gives
them.
a rat's behind where they were? Now you have
This
both
whole
spots.
area was clear, and there is a crossing road that comes all the way through here, and they could have parked.
Who made you the monitor of public parking?
No one.
Who do you think you are to be the monitor of public parking?
Sherry and Jeffrey Marshall claim their neighbors, Joseph and Jennifer Fugate, owe for an insurance deductible and filing a false police report. Joseph and Jennifer are countersuing for medical bills from an assault.
Now, you went out on a public street to go like this to save a parking space for your parents.
Yes,
that you had no right to do. Let me just understand this. You had no right to go out there. You parked on their side of the street, and then you went outside to save the spot because your parents were on their way home.
Yeah,
Just a second. You have no right to do that. Zero. Don't you understand that?
No, actually, I don't understand that, Your Honor. How do I not have a right to save a spot?
You do not have a right to
my
save a
elderly
public
parents.
Just a second. You don't have that right because I'm here to tell you. You don't have a right to save a spot on a public street by standing in the street like this. Don't park here.
And I'm like this.
I don't care whether you were hopping on one foot and chewing gum. You don't have the right to save a spot, and it makes it twice as obnoxious because you parked on their side of the street. Now, if there was a spot in front of their house that they could park in and they said, no, I'm going to park in front of the defendant's house, I could say, you know what? That's nasty.
Well, that's
just that
thing,
nasty.
Your Honor.
Now you have
this
both
whole
spots.
area was clear, okay? And there is a crossing road that comes all the way through here, and they could have parked.
Who made you the monitor of public parking?
No one.
Who do you think you are to be the monitor of public parking? Get back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now, Mr. Monitor of Public Parking, you come out and you're standing in the street to save the spot. She comes around to park there, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
Well, she came around to park there, and then she hit me with her car.
Just a second. She came around to park there, and you were standing in the street.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, pay careful attention. Where did she hit you in the car before you moved?
She hit me in the knee.
In the knee. And so you jumped out of the way. No.
I fell on her car. I guess I was talking on the phone, and when she hit me in the knee, I fell on her car.
Baloney. That's not what this is. What was the damage to your car? That's baloney. That didn't happen because your elbow went on her car. Sir, if she hit you on the knee, she hit you on the knee with the front of her car, which is possible. By the way, you have medical records to show me?
I do.
I'd like to see them. The record should reflect that they closed this case, made no arrests in this case, and probably told everybody to behave themselves, which is what I'm doing.
I apologize.
Okay. What is this?
That is the ambulance bill for...
I want to see a medical record. I don't care if you went in an ambulance. I want to see what the doctor reported about your injury. Where is that?
I was unable to get that.
Well, that's too bad. Then I'm not interested in this. That's nonsense. Okay, how much did it cost to fix your car?
Here we are. Thank you.
And you had a $500 deductible?
Yes, ma'am.
$500 so far for the plaintiff. The counterclaim that talks about medical bills for this is dismissed. Okay, filing a false police report.
Yes, ma'am.
And the false police report you're talking about is what?
Mrs. Fugate initiated a confrontation with me.
When?
December the 22nd. I'm on my way to my vehicle. Mrs. Fugate is parked maybe like 10 feet behind.
Put up the diagram again, please. Okay, just go over to the board. This is a different date, but I just want you to show me where she was and where you were.
Okay. Mrs. Fugate was parked right about here.
She parked right about there, which is opposite your house.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I'm parked here.
In front of her house?
Correct.
Okay, so you're both on the same side of the street, which is the defendant's side of the street. You're parked across the street from your house.
That's correct.
Got it. Go ahead.
Okay.
What happened?
And Mrs. Fugate, she comes out of her car. She's walking towards me. She's upset. She's yelling. And I don't remember all of the words that she was saying, but it was about parking. She was telling me I couldn't park where I was parked at. She's yelling. She's screaming. I'm trying to reason with her.
Could you step back then?
Yes. I'm trying to reason with Miss Fugate. I'm telling her it's a public street and I can park there. She's yelling and screaming and telling me that I can't. We're standing in front of one another. She's still yelling and screaming. I'm trying to reason with her. Next thing I know, she hits me on the hand. My reflex, I pushed her back. Next thing I know, she's still standing after I pushed. Next thing I know, I guess she thought about it, and then she made herself fall on the ground.
Well, I don't know whether she did or not. Somebody said with regard to this that there's a video of this. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It was dismissed in court. It wasn't showed in court.
I don't care whether it's shown in court or not. I would like to see, because I read here that there is a security video of what happened on. If it's a video, you don't have to go up there, Ms. Fugate, because I can actually see it myself. So now, those are the two cars parked on the same side of the street, and they are parked on the defendant's side of the street.
Yes, ma'am.
And your car is the
black car.
Your car is the black car. Their car is the red car.
That's correct.
And that's Miss Fugate getting out of her car. Okay,
Yes,
now I'd like to see the video.
She started to move up. So I thought I'd move my car a little closer.
Shh. Don't speak.
That's when she...
Shh. Okay, I'm going to see that again, please. And I'd like you to do it slowly at some point when they're right in each other's faces and getting very nasty. Oh, no, Miss Marshall, you can't do that.
It wasn't my intention.
Oh, just a second. Oh, it was absolutely your intention.
No,
it was absolutely your intention. And there was, listen, you know, I'm an equal opportunity abuser. You can't do that. You can't do what I just saw. What I just saw is unreasonable behavior and totally inconsistent to being maybe, which I didn't see, slapped on the hand.
Right.
Maybe slapped on the hand. I didn't see it, but I did see you give her a substantial shove, and she is a person who has a certain infirmity, and she fell. And if she fell, and if she was injured, you're responsible. That's it. I saw you give her a shove that didn't, as you say, she decided to fall back down no matter. You hit her with such force that she fell backward. You say no, I say yes, I'm a judge, I win.
Sherry and Jeffrey Marshall have accused their neighbors, Joseph and Jennifer Fugate, of damaging their car. Jennifer claims she was assaulted by Sherry over a parking spot.
Now, I saw the video. I don't have to have your mother testify. You should have not created an incident, Mrs. Fugate.
I did.
Yes, no, yes, just a second. Yes, you did.
I was walking toward the car, and I was to go to my car and pull up because she was starting to pull her car up. And if you look, she started to pull her car up first. And then when she come around the car, she's holding her cell phone yelling, "I got you on recording. I'm recording you because I'm going to show you a hate crime." Excuse me.
Just a second. Part of the problem is you and your son have to understand that you have no right to the parking spaces that are on a public street, just a sec, in front of your house. And your son clearly is a provocateur in this because he parks his car on their side of the street. I'm not getting, so what I'm doing is I am dissecting this case. If I have two unreasonable people, they're going to continue to make each other's lives miserable, and I can't control that. All I can do is hear each individual side. So, Mrs. Fugate, I have already said that Miss Marshall had no right, based upon what I saw, to push you with such force that you fell. I would like to see the medical report after the incident of December 22nd. May I see it, Kevin?
I was in the ER.
Okay.
And I had to wear a brace for a month on my arm and shoulder.
Did you have any out-of-pocket expense?
I paid $900 because it was Christmas holidays.
All I want to know is, did you have any out-of-pocket expense?
Yes, Your Honor.
And yes, I had.
Shh. What is this?
I had to have a woman come in and clean my house.
Oh, I don't care about that.
That was out of.
I don't care about that. Return that to her. That's a cleaning bill for somebody to come in and clean. Let her clean. Okay. So, filing a false police report and false arrest. Who was arrested?
I was.
And you were arrested, in my judgment, legitimately, because of based upon what I saw. So I'm dismissing.
That is not why they arrested me.
Oh, okay. So that is not the reason that you were arrested, was not this.
The reason why I was arrested is because when she hit me and when I pushed her back, when they asked me what happened, I did not tell them that she had struck me.
Miss Marshall, is the reason you were arrested based upon the occurrence of December 22nd? That's easy.
Yes, it was.
Well, that's what I said. So don't say no. The reason you were arrested and claim falsely is as a result of the December 22nd incident.
But I was cleared.
I don't care whether you were cleared or not. I didn't clear you. The burden of proof in a criminal case is proof by beyond a reasonable doubt, okay? That is not the burden of proof in a civil proceeding. It's a much lower standard. I looked at that video. I believe that your conduct was unconscionable.
And not hers. You didn't.
I think that her behavior was. I think that her behavior was stupid. I don't. Yeah. Just a second. I don't see her hitting you. I see you walking away, Miss Marshall. I see you walking away, but I saw you give her a shove that, as you say, she decided to fall back down. No, madam. You hit her with such force that she fell backward. You say no, I say yes. Yeah. I'm a judge. I win. So you. On your case, I said, absolutely. I don't believe him. I don't believe that the damage to your car resulted from his putting his elbow on it. I told him, you have absolutely no right to save a space for your parents. I'm awarding.
The case is malicious. Okay. From what you saw him do, that's what she did. She installed a camera, set me up, manured me in front of the camera. She knew what she was doing when she hit me on the hand.
Okay, very.
Oh, she knew.
Just a second. Just a second.
All of it is
just
malicious.
A second. It's not your judgment that I'm concerned about, madam. I'm telling you, based upon what I saw, I'm awarding Mrs. Fugate, who I think she and her son both have to understand what a public street is. I'm awarding her $2,000 on her counterclaim for her injuries as a result of the assault. I'm dismissing part of your claim for false arrest. I awarded you the $500 that you asked for your deductible. You got your $500. It's coming off the $2,000 that I've awarded Mrs. Fugate for her injuries, judgment on the counterclaim for $1,500. Thank you very much. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
I wouldn't have never maliciously pushed anybody.
I've been trying to tell this story forever.
I didn't know what else she was going to do. I was trying to protect myself.
It really does harden me that there are people out there that could go and just do this.
I have always been friendly. I never bother anyone. They keep bothering us.
We're really hoping that this does resolve the issue.
I just want them to leave us alone.
Bring them to Judy Justice.
Because she really does care.
You want to know how I know that the plaintiff wasn't being truthful when she said that I wasn't being malicious, it was an accident, I did not push her that hard? If that had happened to me and I was just trying to get someone away from me, and that reaction from the defendant of falling back, I thought she almost cracked her head on the curb. I would have said, I'm so sorry, oh my goodness, I would have gone down to her, I didn't mean to push you, let me help you up. The plaintiff just walked right back to her car, and you could see her face almost had a smirk on it, just walked right back to her car like she didn't even care. And that to me says you knew exactly what you were doing when you put your hands on that woman.
Yeah, and I didn't see a slap.
It could have happened.
I said it could have happened. It could have happened. I just didn't see it.
That reaction was
an
above and beyond.
overreaction.
Of course.
I never thought the person who would hurt me the most would be someone I once called family. We met years ago, not as strangers, but as people who understood each other. At first, he was just a friend, someone I could talk to late at night, someone who listened when things in my life weren't going well. Slowly, he became more than that. He became someone I trusted. And trust is a powerful thing, because when you trust someone, you stop protecting yourself. You believe they would never cross certain lines. You believe they would never become the reason for your pain. That's exactly what I believed. He knew my home. He knew my routine. He knew my struggles. There were days when he would sit with me for hours, talking about life, talking about dreams, talking about the future. I thought I had found someone real, someone loyal. But sometimes, people aren't what they appear to be. Looking back now, I realize there were signs. Small things. Moments that didn't feel right. But when you care about someone, you ignore those signs. You convince yourself that everything is fine. You convince yourself that loyalty still exists. One day, something strange happened. A friend of mine told me something about him. Something I didn't want to believe. They said he wasn't the person I thought he was. They said he had been talking behind my back, sharing things I told him in confidence. At first, I laughed. I defended him. I said there was no way that could be true, because the person I knew would never do that. But the truth has a strange way of showing itself. Slowly, little pieces started coming together. Things people said, not things he did. Things that suddenly made sense. I began noticing how he acted differently around others, how he would change his words depending on who he was talking to, how sometimes he would smile in front of me, but say something completely different behind me. That's when doubt started growing inside me. And doubt is a painful thing, because it makes you question every memory you have with someone, every conversation, every moment you once believed was real. I didn't want to believe it. I kept telling myself, maybe people are just jealous. Maybe they're trying to create problems between us. But deep down, something didn't feel right anymore. One night, everything changed. I found out something that shattered the image I had of him. Something that proved people had been telling the truth all along. He had been using my trust, taking advantage of the access I gave him to my life. The secrets I shared, the doors I opened, everything. And suddenly, I felt stupid. Not because he betrayed me, but because I defended him for so long. Because I ignored every warning. Because I believed loyalty meant the same thing to him as it did to me. That night, I didn't feel angry. I felt empty. Because betrayal from a stranger hurts. But betrayal from someone you trusted changes the way you see people forever. I started thinking about all the memories we had. All the late night conversations. All the times I helped him. All the times I stood up for him. And I wondered, was any of it real? Or was I just another person he used? That question stayed in my mind for a long time. For days. For weeks. And then one day, I realized something important. Some people come into your life not to stay, but to teach you something. They teach you who to trust, who to keep at a distance, and who never deserved your loyalty in the first place. What he did hurt, but it also opened my eyes. Because after that experience, I stopped trusting words. I started watching actions. I stopped believing promises, and started believing behavior. And honestly, that change made me stronger, not colder, not bitter. Just wiser. Today, I don't hate him. I don't even think about him that much anymore. But I do remember the lesson. Trust carefully, because not everyone who sits at your table deserves a seat there. And sometimes, the people closest to you are the ones you should watch the most.